Chapter 381. As long as you never admit it, even if he suspects, he won't be sure. But, what if you don't admit it and he has already made up his mind? Lu Shuang asked worriedly. Wu Nian's eyes flashed with suspicion. She asked, "Did Gu Lingqing come to see Shiniyan today to confirm if I'm Baiya?" Gu Lingqing asked, but Shiniyan said no, Lu Shuang explained. Wu Nian lowered her eyes. She knew that Gu Lingqing's attitude yesterday, his tone, and the way he spoke were not normal. Now that she thought about it, he must have thought that she was Baiya. He was still suspicious of her, so his attitude towards her was also ambiguous. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian's silence. She was impatient and said irritably, "So what if he knows? If you don't like him, then you don't like him. Anyway, you guys are divorced. What are you afraid of? Just let him know that he bullied you before." Wu Nian did not say anything. She was deep in her own thoughts. Time passed by. 1.5 hours later, Wu Nian was done with the drip. "Let's go and buy a gift." "What should we buy?" "Jewelry." Her family sells jewelry. As for clothes, we don't even know her size. I guess since her family is so rich, it should be custom-made. Lipstick or something else is too shabby. People like her should not lack anything other than the man they like. Lu Shuang sighed. "Let's buy an LV bag. The latest model." "Women always lack one bag," Wu Nian suggested. "Buy an LV bag, the latest model. A woman's bag is always short of one," Wu Nian suggested. "It can cure all diseases." Ha ha ha. Lu Shuang held Wu Nian's hand and walked to the most high-end shopping building in X City. "It can cure all diseases, ha ha ha." Lu Shuang held Wu Nian's arm and walked to the most high-end shopping building in X City. They saw Su Jiran buying perfume when they walked to the elevator on the first floor. Lu Shuang dragged Wu Nian away. Su Jiran glanced at Wu Nian from the corner of his eyes. "Xiao Nian, it's great that I bumped into you here. I wanted to buy you a bottle of perfume to thank you for saving my life that day. Come over and take a look. Which one do you like?" "My Xiao Nian never uses perfume." "Thank you. Besides, Xiao Nian didn't save you. She saved her boyfriend." "She saved you along the way," Lu Shuang said bluntly and then got into the elevator with Wu Nian. Wu Nian didn't even look at Su Jiran. He was looking ahead. The corners of Su Jiran's mouth curled up. He put his hands in his pockets and followed them. When Lu Shuang saw that Su Jiran was following them, she blocked his path. "I say, you're a shameless person, why are you following us? It was the same when Xiaobai didn't like you. You kept pestering her, and the more you pestered her, the more disgusting you are." A cold light flashed in Su Jiran's eyes. "You should be glad that you are Shiniyan's woman. Otherwise, with your personality, you would have died 17 or 18 times. Are you saying that you would have killed me 17 or 18 times? Su Jiran, you are a devil who kills without batting an eye." Lu Shuang said coldly. "If I was a devil who kills without batting an eye, you wouldn't be alive now. You even killed the woman you like. I should thank you for being merciful." Lu Shuang rolled his eyes at him and pulled Wu Nian away. "As long as Baiya doesn't leave me, I won't let her die," Su Jiran said as he looked at Wu Nian's back. Lu Shuang didn't look back and walked even faster. "This Su Jiran is so annoying. It was a wise decision for you to divorce him. I saw him changing girlfriends more than 10 times in the past year. Stud horse, trash. Don't argue with him in the future. He is a sinister person. If you ignore him, he will feel that you are asking for trouble." Wu Nian reminded him. "I have a bad temper. I can't help it." They walked into the LV store. "Boss, are there any new goods this month?" Lu Shuang asked. "Yes, but it is limited. Someone ordered it last month." The shop assistant said apologetically, "Why don't you look at the others? Some of them are also popular." Is there only one limited edition? Lu Shuang said disappointedly. Each store can only get one. I'm sorry. Why don't you look at other stores? Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian. Even if there are some in other countries, tomorrow is the birthday party. I don't know if I can make it in time. Do you have the customer's contact information? Wu Nian asked the shop assistant. Well. When the shop assistant saw Su Jiran coming over, she smiled and said, Mr. Su, are you coming to pick up the bag? Su Jiran nodded. The shop assistant handed the limited edition bag to Su Jiran respectfully. Su Jiran took the bag and looked at Wu Nian. He handed the bag over. You want it too, right? It's for you. Lu Shuang slapped Su Jiran's hand away. Who wants your stuff? Get lost. Su Jiran frowned and glanced at Lu Shuang unhappily. Seeing the sharpness in Su Jiran's eyes, Wu Nian's heart sank. She was all too familiar with the look in his eyes. Su Jiran was capable of anything. Most importantly, he had too many tricks up his sleeves. Once he did it, he could even lure people into his trap unknowingly. They wouldn't even know how they died. Cool girl. Wu Nian stopped him. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian took the bag from Su Jiran and said politely but indifferently, Thank you, Mr. Su. I need this bag. You need to give it to Avril? Su Jiran asked. Wu Nian twitched the corner of her mouth. So, you're not going to compete? Su Jiran shrugged. A bag can't change the result. However, I'm confident that I can cooperate with Mo Shui. Do you believe me? Wu Nian looked at him. He was very sure. If Mr. Su can take away the cooperation rights, I'm willing to admit defeat. However, if you promise to be my woman for a month, I'm willing to give this opportunity to cooperate with you and make it a success, Su Jiran said evilly. Su Jiran, do you have any shame? How can you make such a request? Even if you don't let us, we can still get the cooperation rights, Lu Shuang said angrily. Don't worry. I promise you won't get the cooperation rights. Su Jiran said arrogantly and looked at Wu Nian's face. My business card is in the bag. You have 24 hours to think about it. I'll think about it, Wu Nian said lightly. Think about what? You don't even want the bag. Lu Shuang grabbed the bag from Wu Nian's hand and threw it on the ground. Su Jiran turned and left. Wu Nian picked up the bag on the ground. Xiao Nian. Are you crazy? You want to give yourself to that devil, Su Jiran. Lu Shuang didn't understand. Wu Nian glanced at Lu Shuang. If it was Baya, how do you think Baya would answer him? Of course he would tell him to get lost, Lu Shuang said without thinking. Wu Nian raised the corner of his mouth. That's right. Lu Shuang suddenly understood. You're just trying to show that you're different from Baya. In fact, you'll definitely reject him, right? Chapter 382. I don't care what he is up to. I'd rather not work with him than have you get involved with him. Even if I don't work with him, it doesn't mean that I won't have the chance to take Xiao Bao on a vacation, Lu Shuang said with certainty. Let's take it one step at a time. They went back after dinner. Wu Nian went back to his room to sleep. Lu Shuang was also ready to go back to his room to sleep. Shen Yiyan did a lot last night and he was sleepy. As soon as she went back to her room, the butler stopped her. Madam, sir wants to invite you to the lake. What? Shen Yiyan hasn't left yet. Isn't he going back to country, eh? Lu Shuang said straightforwardly. The butler smiled. Master has his own arrangements. We can't interfere. Lu Shuang shrugged. He wanted to talk to Su Jiran, so he could talk to Shen Yiyan. She went to the lake to look for Shen Yiyan and saw that Gu Lingqing was there too. Did Gu Lingqing not leave or did he come back? They were in a good mood, fishing by the lake leisurely. How could she be bullied in Su Jiran? She was instantly infuriated. Sheniyan, a country that isn't in the morning is usually destroyed quickly. You've been here for 2 days. Don't you need to go to work? Lu Shuang said impolitely. Sheniyan was not angry. Instead, he smiled. You said that I need to go to work. I definitely have my annual leave. Your annual leave is long enough. You've rested for 20 days this year, right? Lu Shuang walked in front of him. Weekends are my normal days off. Business trips are also required by my work. I've only rested for 3 days. Shen Ian replied seriously. Lu Shuang saw that there were more than 10 fish in his bucket. He said with disdain, if you have the time to fish, why don't you think about how to work with Mo Shui? I'll fish with my competitor and leave you to think of a solution. This is also my strategy. Shen Ian smiled. Lu Shuang kicked the chair that Shen Ian was sitting on. You don't have only one competitor. Xiao Nian and I met Su Jiran in the mall today. He's very confident that he can to Mo Shui, and he even asked Xiao Nian to be his woman. Gu Lingqing frowned and pressed his lips together. Oh, Su Jiran is very confident? Shen Ian mulled over this sentence and looked at Gu Lingqing. What do you think? There won't be any accidents. Shen Ian to Su to. Lu Shuang felt as if they had become partners. He was scared. Hey, Gu Lingqing, why are you helping Shen Ian? Gu Lingqing squinted at Lu Shuang. His eyes were as dark as ink. There are some things that the less you know, the better. Lu Shuang felt that Gu Lingqing was looking down on him. He suddenly felt embarrassed. There was an unknown fire in his heart, but he didn't know what to say to vent it. Shen Ian, why did you ask me to come here? Lu Shuang said unhappily. Fishing. Do you want it? Shen Ian handed the fishing rod to Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang pulled Shen Ian to stand up. Don't fish. I have something to tell you. Shen Ian stood up in a good mood and was dragged 100 meters away by Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang glanced at Gu Lingqing. He guessed that Gu Lingqing couldn't hear them, so he asked, why is he still here? We haven't finished talking about some military matters. Lu Shuang pointed at Shen Ian. Don't lie to me. Do you think I'm stupid? You're not talking about military matters. You're obviously fishing. You didn't tell Gu Lingqing that Wu Nian is Baiya, did you? Shen Ian smiled and held Lu Shuang's fingers. We're done talking. I asked him to stay here to fish. Lu Shuang pulled his hand out. Why did you ask him to stay? Shen Ian touched his nose. To help you complete your mission. Haven't you always wanted to travel? Lu Shuang looked at Shen Ian's face. Shen Ian was a smart person. Gu Lingqing was a smart person. Su Jiran was a smart person. Baiya was a smart person. She felt that she was very stupid. Those people talked and did things in one way or another. They seemed to be doing A, but suddenly they became B, and finally, they turned out to be C. Anyway, you can't bully Wu Nian. Lu Shuang requested. Shen Ian smiled and held her waist. You go back with me tomorrow morning. What? Tomorrow morning? It's Mo Shui's daughter's birthday tomorrow night. Stephen will appear to introduce her to me. It's not appropriate for me to go back tomorrow morning. Lu Shuang was confused. Is he introducing her to you or to Wu Nian? Shen Ian asked. Lu Shuang was a little embarrassed. He cleared his throat and said uncomfortably, introducing her to Xiao Nian means introducing her to me. Wu Nian can attend the party tomorrow. You will only make trouble if you go. Lu Shuang pushed Shen Ian's hand away from her waist and sneered. Hey, Shen Ian, in your eyes, I don't know anything, do I? Well. Shen Ian thought carefully. In fact, it's enough for you to know one thing. What? Lu Shuang couldn't understand what he meant. Give birth to my child. Ha. Lu Shuang smiled and looked at him coldly. Any woman can give birth. But only you can be the mother of my son. Shen Ian said with certainty. What? Lu Shuang stared at Shen Ian. Why did she feel that he was very strange today? Only she could be the mother of his son. Couldn't his wife give birth to his son? All right, go back with me. I'm worried about you in country X. Be good. Shen Ian said with a smile and looked at him with burning eyes. Lu Shuang shivered. What if I don't want to go back? I want to go out and play after we talk. Shen Ian's face darkened, and there was coldness in his eyes. Lu Shuang, do you know why you can always stay by my side? He said that as if it was his gift to her to stay by his side. Thank you, but I don't care. Lu Shuang said bluntly. Shen Ian pursed his lips, and his eyes became colder. He said in a harsh tone, go back with me tomorrow. It's not up to you. Lu Shuang turned around and left. He picked her up forcibly and walked to the room. 2 hours later, Wu Nian woke up and went to find Lu Shuang. She was stopped by the butler again. The butler smiled ambiguously again. Sir and madam are busy inside. Wu Nian, she turned around and Gu Lingqing walked in. When Wu Nian saw him, she lowered her head and greeted him respectfully. Mr. Gu. Gu Lingqing held Wu Nian's arm and looked at the butler. He said in a low voice, they have been busy for almost 2 hours. They should be done by now. Let them know. Yes. The butler nodded and walked to the door of Lu Shuang's room. Wu Nian. She remembered this butler. He was treating her differently. She stood beside Gu Lingqing uncomfortably. You've lost a lot of weight recently. Gu Lingqing said as he looked down at her face. I was too fat before, so I was trying to lose weight on purpose. Wu Nian replied. Chapter 383. Wu Nian liked to get along with Gu Lingqing like this. It was relaxed, free, and there were no conflicts. It was as if life was beautiful, plain, and warm. She could feel a sweet feeling flowing in her heart just by talking to him occasionally and listening to his voice. I know how to make it. Crucian carp soup with tofu. The wild crucian carp caught in this kind of lake are the most delicious, Wu Nian replied with a smile. Gu Lingqing looked at her and also smiled. It was difficult for him to smile, and his smile was extraordinarily beautiful. In addition to the crucian carp, I also caught a spotted silver carp and a black carp. Can you see what you can do? Gu Lingqing asked. Shen Ian walked out of the room, well-dressed, and said with a smile, it seems that I have to admit that Chief Gu is very good at fishing. I only caught a dozen small crucian carps. I'm ashamed. You deserve it, idiot. Lu Shuang came out of the room, and his face was red, not knowing whether it was because of anger or shyness. She walked in front of Wu Nian and took Wu Nian's arm. Xiao Nian, you cook tonight, and I'll be your assistant. Shen Ian pursed her lips and smiled. Lu Shuang glared at her. What are you smiling for? Are you white? She took Wu Nian to the kitchen, closed the door, and said, Xiao Nian, let me tell you. You weren't here just now, and I told them about Su Jiran. Gu Lingqing said there would be no accidents. I guess Gu Lingqing has a way, but I can't think of what it is. Gu Lingqing is reliable. Let's wait and see. In many things, plans can't keep up with changes. Dong, dong, dong. There was a knock on the door. Wu Nian opened the door. The housekeeper was standing at the door with 2 buckets of fish, smiling. Wu Nian took it. When Lu Shuang closed the door, he glanced at the bucket and said with disgust, there is no harm if there is no comparison. Shen Ian is really lousy. He caught so many fish, not even as good as Gu Lingqing's. Every profession has its own specialization. Besides, there's an element of luck in fishing. Wu Nian began to wash the fish. Lu Shuang glanced at the door and made sure that it would not be opened. He lowered his voice and said to Wu Nian, Shen Ian asked me to go back with him tomorrow. You help me negotiate. My condition is that if the cooperation is not successful, I have to take Xiao Bao to travel for a week next month. He agreed. That's good. Even if we don't cooperate, you can still travel. Wu Nian was also happy for Lu Shuang. That's right, that's right. When we go on a trip, we'll look to Alan. By the way, why didn't Alan contact you today? He has to fly at 8:00 this morning. Normally, he should have arrived in the UK at this time. Wu Nian took out his phone and found that there was no call from Alan. Lu Shuang grabbed Wu Nian's phone. If he doesn't call me, you should call him. You are too passive. While saying that, Lu Shuang dialed the number. It was too late for Wu Nian to stop him. The phone was connected. Lu Shuang put the phone to Wu Nian's ear. Hello. Wu Nian said. Hee. I feel much better after receiving your call. What are you doing now? Alan said softly. I'm cooking dinner. You must be tired after the trip. Have a good rest. Wu Nian was about to hang up. I'm hungry after hearing you cooking dinner. Hee. I want to taste your cooking skills. There will be a chance. After saying that, Wu Nian didn't know what else to say. He fell silent. Alan was very talkative. Then it's a deal. Once I go to country A, you have to cook dinner for me. Don't go back on your word. Okay. Wu Nian fell silent again. He was most afraid of the air suddenly becoming clean. Wu Nian felt very embarrassed. He didn't know whether to hang up or not. Alan also paused for 5 seconds and said, Xiao Nian, I have a little problem here. But don't worry. I will definitely solve it. So, I will have to trouble you for a while. Wu Nian understood that the marriage was not a trivial matter. It could change the fate of 2 families. It doesn't matter. Even if you change your mind, it doesn't matter to me. Don't put too much burden and pressure on yourself. When you feel conflicted and can't find an exit, write down all the expected situations. Good things, bad things. Add 1 point for every good thing and 1 point for every bad thing. Subtract 1 point and you will get the answer rationally. Wu Nian suggested. Alan smiled. In fact, it doesn't matter to me how many points I lose. Because I want to be with you and fight for this goal. Life is steady for me. I'm just worried that you won't give me a chance if you wait for too long. Wu Nian lowered his eyes. His long eyelashes covered the light in his eyes. He was silent and didn't reply to Alan. Hee. Alan chuckled. God is really fair to people. I always felt that my body wasn't too good, but I was able to control my feelings with ease. Now, I'm getting my comeuppance. It's okay. You can hang up. Wu Nian felt a sour feeling in his heart. Can we start from friends? Alan smiled. I am willing to be your knight. Then. I'm going to cook dinner. I'll contact you later. Okay. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang cooperated and hung up the phone. He said with a smile, I think this Alan is quite good. He's a gentleman and I feel that he's infatuated. It's good to be friends. I'm just afraid that I won't be able to repay him if he suddenly becomes serious. However, it should just be a novelty. He doesn't look like an irrational person, Wu Nian judged. Lu Shuang wanted to say something but stopped. In the end, he didn't say anything to persuade her. She knew that Wu Nian had his own thoughts and wouldn't listen to her. Wu Nian made tofu fish soup, pickled fish with pickled vegetables, fish head with chopped peppers, fish sliders with green peppers, braised carp, and steamed green jade meat. Gu Lingqing stayed for dinner. They chatted casually and skipped sensitive topics. Lu Shuang and Shen Yan were going back to China the next morning. So, they left after dinner. Wu Nian sent Gu Lingqing out. Do you need me to pick you up for the banquet tomorrow? Gu Lingqing asked. No need. I'll drive myself. Wu Nian refused. Okay. Be careful on the way. Gu Lingqing said. Okay. Be careful on the way. Wu Nian nodded respectfully. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. After this incident, they would go back to China. She would live in his house for a long time. He was looking forward to their return and wanted to be by her side all the time. However, they had to separate now. Did Xiao Yan call you? Gu Lingqing asked. Wu Nian shook her head. Speaking of Xiao Yan, she began to miss him. Children are like this. Their enthusiasm lasts only for a short time. If you are not by their side, they will easily forget you. It will be better if you get to know them better in the future. Maybe, after 2 or 3 years, they will remember you. Gu Lingqing said meaningfully. Okay. Don't worry, Mr. Gu. I will take good care of your children. Since I want to use you, I won't doubt your ability anymore. See you tomorrow. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His eyes never left her. He wanted to see her from time to time. Then, see you tomorrow. Wu Nian replied. Chapter 384. Lu Shuang left for the airport at 8:00. Shen Yiyan's private plane was parked there. Wu Nian went to see him off. Lu Shuang said reluctantly, "It's fine if it doesn't work out. Shen Yiyan has promised to give me a week to travel. Although it's not much time, it's enough for me to escape. Don't force yourself and come back early." Wu Nian smiled. "I understand. Be careful. I don't think Shen Yiyan's men have the guts to kill you. Maybe there's someone else behind it." Lu Shuang shrugged. "I'm leaving soon anyway. Those people started it because of Shen Yiyan. I'll be safe once I leave Shen Yiyan." "Okay, have a safe trip," Wu Nian said softly. Lu Shuang turned around, walked a few steps and looked back at Wu Nian. Wu Nian was smarter than her, more thorough and more rational than her. It was useless for her to worry. However, she didn't know why she felt so uneasy. Wu Nian waved and Lu Shuang got on the plane. She watched Lu Shuang's plane fly away, then turned around and went back to the airport. In the afternoon, she went to the beauty salon. Avril's birthday party was full of celebrities and socialites. She was going there to discuss a business deal, so it wasn't appropriate for her to dress shabbily. After a whole morning, she combed her hair, put on exquisite makeup, changed into an orange princess dress, revealed her fair neck, and put on the diamond necklace that was sold in the afternoon. She went to the party at 6:00. She thought she would be early, but she didn't expect that another 40 or 50 people would arrive. She looked for Gu Lingqing and Stephen subconsciously. Gu Lingqing didn't see them, neither did Stephen, nor did Mo Shui. She walked up and gave the LV bag to Avril first. "Happy birthday." Avril was very arrogant and disinterested. She handed her bag to the maid next to her and said to Wu Nian lazily, "Suit yourself." Wu Nian nodded, took a glass of red wine, and stood in the corner. Many men came over to hit on her, but she rejected them all. There were more and more people in the banquet hall. Wu Nian still hadn't seen Gu Lingqing and Stephen, so he went outside to wait. From the private room next door, an elegant woman walked out and answered the phone with a smile. "Jie Ran, where are you?" "All right, I'll go now." Arrogant? Was he referring to Su Jiran? Wu Nian recalled how confident Su Jiran was when he followed the lady out. She watched as the lady went to the parking lot and got into a black Maybach. Wu Nian was suspicious. He arched his body and quietly approached. Jie Ran, be gentler." Wu Nian blushed and looked up at the Maybach. The Maybach vibrated. She arched his body and walked back, only to see a pair of bright leather shoes. She blushed and looked up, only to see Gu Lingqing. "What are you doing here?" Gu Lingqing asked suspiciously. "That." Wu Nian found it hard to say. "See for yourself." "See what?" Gu Lingqing didn't understand. Wu Nian pushed her away and walked into the hotel. Gu Lingqing looked at the parking lot and saw a car vibrating violently. He understood and his Adam's apple bobbed sexily. He turned around and walked into the hotel. Wu Nian was still waiting for the elevator. Seeing Gu Lingqing walk over, she thought of the Maybach and felt very uncomfortable. Is it nice? Gu Lingqing looked down at her and asked. I saw a woman answering a phone from the private room next to the banquet hall. She said something about Jieran. I thought it was Su Jieran and wanted to see what they were up to. I didn't expect. Wu Nian explained. That Maybach is Su Jieran's. The woman you're talking about should be Mo Shui, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian, she knew that Su Jieran was good at playing with his girlfriends, but he only played with young and beautiful girls. It wasn't that Mo Shui wasn't beautiful, but she should be over 50 years old. Su Jieran's taste and methods were unbelievable. Then, there's no hope for us to work together, right? Wu Nian judged. Gu Lingqing smiled. I said there won't be any accidents. Don't you believe me? He was talking to Shen Yiyan and Lu Shuang. How could he be so sure that she knew? The elevator opened with a ding. Gu Lingqing asked Wu Nian to go in first. When Stephen comes later, pretend that you don't know about the relationship between Mo Shui and Su Jieran. Communicate as usual. I will help you. Okay, Wu Nian answered. She trusted Gu Lingqing for no reason. He could do what he said. They entered the banquet hall together. When Avril saw Gu Lingqing, she ran over with a smile as if she was on steroids. She reached out to Gu Lingqing. Where's the present? It's my birthday today. I've been waiting for your present for a long time. Gu Lingqing took out a small jewelry box from his pocket and placed it in Avril's hand. Avril opened it excitedly. It was a beautiful hair clip with her English name as the base. It was made of platinum and inlaid with diamonds. It's so beautiful. This is the best present I've received today. Thank you, Qing. Can you put it on for me? Avril handed the hair clip to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing took it and put it on for her. Avril smiled like a blooming flower. She quickly kissed Gu Lingqing on the cheek. Wu Nian twitched the corner of her mouth and turned around. There was a strange feeling in her heart. Her eyes were wet. She walked out of the banquet hall again. She stood at the entrance of the corridor and leaned against the wall. She lowered her head and looked at the ground in silence. In this world, two things that were difficult to do were to let go and to fulfill someone's wish. She had already decided to let go and fulfill someone's wish, but when she saw him being intimate with another girl, she still couldn't stay calm. Humans were really contradictory and strange creatures. She calmed herself down for 10 minutes. She convinced herself and adjusted her mood. She went back to the banquet hall and saw Stephen. Stephen was talking to Gu Lingqing. He seemed to be in a good mood. Wu Nian walked up to him and said with a smile, "Good evening, Stephen." Stephen looked at Wu Nian and praised her with admiration. "Wow, I haven't seen you for a few days. You've lost a lot of weight. You've become even more beautiful." "Thank you," Wu Nian said politely. "I haven't seen Mo Shui yet. I'll introduce her to you when I see her later," Stephen said with a smile. He looked at Gu Lingqing and his eyes lit up. They waited for another 20 minutes. Wu Nian saw the lady who had a tryst with Su Jieran walk in. She had put her hair up when she went out. Now, it was down. "She's here," Stephen said and walked toward Mo Shui. "Long time no see, Shui-er," Stephen said with a smile. Mo Shui chuckled. "It's been a long time. I thought you were dead." "You're not dead. How would I dare die?" "I'll definitely wait for you to die before I die," Stephen said with a smile. Wu Nian was speechless. Chapter 385. You're thinking too much. Look, I still have black hair and you already have white hair. It's impossible for you to live longer than me, Mo Shui said bluntly. Alright, you've lived for a long time. That's good enough. I'm here to talk to you about something. Stephen got back to business. What is it? You don't look like anything good. Mo Shui rolled her eyes at Stephen. Didn't you say that when you're old, I'll give you another painting called Dream Realization? I'll paint it for you while I'm still alive, Stephen said. Mo Shui was tempted and the sharpness in her eyes faded a little. I'm not free today. It's Avril's birthday. How about tomorrow? I'll be free tomorrow. Before I paint, I have a friend I want to introduce to you, Stephen said. Mo Shui looked at Wu Nian who was standing beside Stephen. Your lover. Don't talk nonsense. She's Alan's girlfriend at the moment. She's from A and wants to be your business partner in a country, Stephen said directly. Mo Shui lowered her eyes and crossed her arms. I already have a business partner in a country. Sorry. Think about it again, please. Stephen's tone softened. Mo Shui frowned. What kind of relationship do you have with her? Does she need you, who treats money like dirt, to beg for her? Ollie and Lisa killed Kyle, and she helped me find Casey, who killed Ollie and Lisa. At the critical moment, she even saved my life. Shui, can you help me? Stephen said softly. Wouldn't she be my enemy if she saved you? Mo Shui said sarcastically. If that's what you think, then it's my fault for coming here. I'm leaving now. We'll never meet again in this life. Stephen walked towards the door. Mo Shui's eyes flashed with a complicated look. Wait. Stephen glanced at her. I'll think about it, Mo Shui said in a low voice. Stephen smiled. Today is your daughter's birthday and you have a lover here. I won't bother you anymore. Call me tomorrow when you're free. Mo Shui's eyes darkened as she watched Stephen walk away. Wu Nian couldn't understand Mo Shui. She could see the reluctance in Mo Shui's eyes, but she had already slept with Su Jiran. Perhaps sex and love could be managed separately for her. An American classmate of hers had once done a similar research. A man told his girlfriend that he had 5 girlfriends and that it depended on their attitude. The responses of China, the US, and Japan were very different. The American girlfriend was not angry and even joked with her boyfriend, not caring at all. The Chinese girlfriend was very angry, questioning, feeling wronged, suspicious, crying, upset, and hysterical. The Japanese girlfriend said on the surface that he was awesome, but behind his back, she was sad. Nowadays, in many developed countries, people are becoming more and more indifferent to sex. At the same time, relationships are getting weaker and weaker. Marriage is just another way of getting along. Where's Mo Shui? Who's Mo Shui? A woman shouted. Wu Nian came back to his senses and looked at the woman. The woman walked up angrily and slapped Mo Shui's face. She said angrily, Tell me, did you spread the disease to Su Jiran? I have AIDS now. Mo Shui covered her face. She was angry at first, but after hearing the woman's words, she was shocked and panicked. Are you saying that Su Jiran has AIDS? I've checked on the women he slept with in country X. They didn't have AIDS before, so you're the only one who could have it. You're a pair of adulterers, the woman said angrily. Mo Shui's face turned pale. You're mistaken. I don't have it either. What? You don't have it either? Did Su Jiran carry it himself? The woman was shocked. What nonsense are you talking about? Su Jiran walked in and looked at the woman who was causing trouble. Su Jiran, you're going to get me killed. The woman rushed towards Su Jiran and raised her hand. Before she could slap Su Jiran grabbed her wrist. What are you doing here? Tell me, who ordered you to do this? Su Jiran said sternly. What order? I've just found out that I have AIDS. You're the only one who slept with me these days. Are you still going to deny it? the woman said with red eyes. Su Jiran flung the woman's hand away. I know very well whether I have AIDS or not. If you continue to spout nonsense, I will make sure you suffer the consequences. Are you trying to scare me now? You kept saying, baby, you're amazing, and, baby, you're amazing, when you're having sex with me. Those are all bullsh *t, Su Jiran, you're a pervert and a piece of trash. The woman scolded. Su Jiran's face was ashen as he pulled the woman out. Mo Shue's phone rang. She saw that it was a video sent by someone and accepted it. It was a video of Su Jiran having sex with a girl. Mo Shue hung up the phone angrily and walked out of the banquet with a pale face. Su Jiran stopped Mo Shue. It's all a misunderstanding. She's slandering me on purpose. I can go to the hospital right now to prove that I'm not sick. Mo Shue slapped Su Jiran's face. You're the dirtiest person I've ever slept with. There's no need to talk about cooperation. Mo Shue left angrily. Su Jiran furrowed his brows and looked at Wu Nian with hatred in his pitch-black eyes. Wu Nian looked at him with drooping eyes. As the saying goes, it's easier to change a leopard than a leopard. It was true. If a man cheated on her once, there would be a second time. If a man played with a woman once, there would be a second time. Even a dog can't change its spots. She was glad that she didn't let Su Jiran have it even in death. Avril saw that the situation was getting out of control and everyone was talking about it. She went on stage and said with a smile, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my birthday party. I'm honored to announce that I, Avril, have found a man worthy of my love. He is Gu Lingqing." Avril pointed at Gu Lingqing and the lights found Gu Lingqing. He stood in the middle of the crowd and was even more dazzling than the lights. Avril smiled sweetly and walked towards Gu Lingqing. Wu Nian's heart skipped a beat. He imagined some scenes and found it hard to breathe. Many people were excited. They clapped their hands and shouted, "Together, together, kiss, kiss." Wu Nian turned around and walked out quickly. She saw that Su Jiran was waiting for the elevator to go down. She didn't want to meet Su Jiran in case it caused unnecessary trouble. She went up the stairs to the top floor and took a breath of fresh air. The night in X City was beautiful. The lights were red and green, like the sea of stars. Wu Nian leaned on the railing and looked at it for a long time. She guessed that the cooperation between Su Jiran and Mo Shue was over. Stephen would meet Mo Shue tomorrow, so she might have to stay for a few more days. She felt warmth on her shoulder, and a familiar smell wafted into her nose. A suit was draped over her. Chapter 386. Wu Nian wanted to ask how did he know that she was on the rooftop. But on second thought, Gu Lingqing should also be on the rooftop and they just happened to meet each other. What a coincidence. Wu Nian changed her words. Not a coincidence. I came here to look for you. Gu Lingqing said with a deep voice. Huh? Wu Nian was surprised. He saw you coming up here. Su Jiran should not be your competitor. Stephen is staying in this hotel. You can stay here today. Tomorrow, Stephen will bring you along when he paints for Mo Shue, Gu Lingqing said. Okay, thank you. Wu Nian said lightly. If everything goes well, you will sign the contract with Mo Shue the day after tomorrow. I will ask the lawyer to accompany you in case anything goes wrong. Gu Lingqing said again. Wu Nian had a strange feeling in her heart. If everything goes according to normal development, you should get the cooperation rights this time. I am curious, why did Mr. Gu give it to someone else? Didn't I tell you that I will give this cooperation to you and help you to complete it? You've always had a bad memory. Gu Lingqing said confidently. She remembered this, but she did not know why Gu Lingqing gave it to her. Was it because he wanted her to work for him? If she thought about it any further, she would think too highly of herself. Wu Nian smiled awkwardly. Do you think that I am Baya? If you are Baya, you should have told me. After all, we went through life and death together and had some good times. When we were separated, we were forced to separate. I don't understand why you didn't tell me that you are Baya. Gu Lingqing said meaningfully. Wu Nian looked down. If your wife is still alive, she will definitely come back when she sees that you are so infatuated with her. You are so hypocritical. Gu Lingqing blurted out. Wu Nian, she looked at him guiltily and frowned. In fact, everyone knows she's dead. It's been 2 years. If she wanted to come back, she would have come back a long time ago, Gu Lingqing added. Wu Nian instinctively felt that no matter what she said, Gu Lingqing's words would not be pleasant to hear, so she simply ignored him and looked at her phone. It was already 11:10 p.m. Well, it's getting late. I'll go back first. When do you plan to come to my house to work? Gu Lingqing locked her eyes and asked. When we go back, do you need to sign the contract? Wu Nian asked. You really have a bad memory. Don't you remember what we agreed on? We agreed in Stephen's place that you will work at my house and be responsible for taking care of my children before my wife comes back. Gu Lingqing spoke very harshly. She seemed to be in a bad mood and was venting her anger on her. His body is full of sweat. I say, Mr. Gu, you already said that your wife is dead. If I take care of your wife until she comes back, wouldn't that be the same as taking care of her for the rest of her life? Wu Nian retorted. Didn't we agree on a lifetime? What about your children after they get married? It's not appropriate for me to stay at your house anymore. I'm a private tutor, Wu Nian reminded. Then I'll take care of my children's children. When I go back, I'll buy a villa. They won't leave home. Even if they get married, I'll ask them to stay together. Wu Nian, she had a feeling that he was deliberately bickering with her. She couldn't win against him. Got it. I'm going back to sleep. She walked towards the door and pulled it, but it didn't open. She pushed the door, but it didn't open either. She got anxious. Gu Lingqing, did you close the door when you came just now? Gu Lingqing frowned and went over to help Wu Nian open the door. His palm touched the back of her palm, and Wu Nian instinctively withdrew her hand. Gu Lingqing's eyes flashed with annoyance. He looked at her angrily. I didn't close the door. It might have been blown by the wind. Then what should we do? Wu Nian pushed the door hard, but it still wouldn't open. You can open it from the inside, right? Wu Nian asked. I don't own this hotel. How would I know? Gu Lingqing replied in a low voice. Wu Nian remembered that Stephen was staying in this hotel. She immediately called him. Stephen's phone was switched off. She looked at Gu Lingqing for help. Lu Shuang was back in China now. It would take 3 hours for the people from the manor to come over. It was already midnight. Well, Avril is having a birthday party downstairs. Call her and ask her to come over, Wu Nian requested. You don't want to be in the same space as me? Gu Lingqing asked. No, I still have to go to your house to work after I go back. We're on the rooftop now. It's a little cold, and it's getting late, Wu Nian explained. Gu Lingqing put his arm around her shoulders and pulled her into his arms. It won't be so cold this way. Also, it's not appropriate for me to call Avril. Some people can't achieve anything, but they can ruin things. If she sees me with you, she won't be willing to let her mother work with you. Wu Nian thought about it and agreed. When she left, she saw Avril confessing to him. She pushed him away subconsciously and asked, Do you know anyone else? You can come over and drive us. Gu Lingqing looked at her helplessly. I'll call Stephen. I just called him. His phone is switched off, Wu Nian said disappointedly. Then let's wait. Gu Lingqing turned around and walked towards the attic. She pushed the door, and it was open. Come over here, Gu Lingqing said to Wu Nian. Wu Nian adjusted Gu Lingqing's suit. She was a little hesitant and didn't walk over. Gu Lingqing didn't know what she was doing. Was she afraid that he would eat her up? They had already given birth to a child. He sulked and turned on the flashlight on his phone. He found the switch on the wall and pressed it. Luckily, the electricity was on. The room was filled with cleaning products and cardboard boxes. He estimated that the cleaner would come over early the next morning to pick up the things. He put the mop and other cleaning products outside the door. He tore open the boxes and spread them on the floor. Wu Nian walked over and helped him quietly. Gu Lingqing glanced at her. Wu Nian blushed and continued to work. The two of them worked for 15 minutes and made a bed. Go to sleep. Someone should open the door at 6:00 at the most. I'll go out for a smoke. You're a heavy smoker, Wu Nian asked with concern. You're nobody to me. I don't need your concern. Gu Lingqing went out with a cold face. Wu Nian looked down. Yes, she was not even in the position to care. Wu Nian lay down on the cardboard and closed her eyes. However, she couldn't fall asleep at all. 10 minutes later, Gu Lingqing came in and lay down beside her. Wu Nian smelled the smoke on his body, and his heart ached. Now, Gu Lingqing thought that Baya was dead. That was good. He could start a life of faith. Wu Nian slowly opened her eyes and looked into Gu Lingqing's deep eyes. Her heart tightened. Gu Lingqing turned over, pressed her down on the cardboard, and kissed her lips. Wu Nian opened her eyes wide in shock and subconsciously pushed his shoulders. Chapter 387. Wu Nian was shocked. She didn't expect Gu Lingqing to do this. She pushed his hand in panic. The more she pushed him, the stronger he was. She couldn't resist at all. She turned her face away and wanted to break away from his lips. At least she could speak. It was good to wake up Gu Lingqing. He looked like he had lost his mind. But he didn't let her escape at all. He pressed her head and kissed her fiercely like a storm. His breath was on her face, and the strength of his hands was increasing. She felt ashamed, but she had a reaction that was hard to say. When the Creator created women, he forgot to make a lock below, so sometimes it was passive. Gu Lingqing kissed for 5 minutes. He didn't stop. Instead, he went deeper, as if he had melted his 2 years of waiting, pain, heartache, and resentment into this kiss. Wu Nian struggled until she had no strength left. He took the opportunity to pull down her pants. Wu Nian reacted. He was dragging her but she was imagining it. Wu Nian groaned. Gu Lingqing let go of her lips. She looked at him with red eyes and pursed her lips. Gu Lingqing didn't move. He said in a low voice, "Since I want you, I will be responsible." Wu Nian punched him on the shoulder. She was no longer an 18-year-old girl. It was useless to cry when such a thing happened. It was unrealistic to ask him to go out. Men wouldn't want to leave unless there was a special situation before they could relieve themselves. Gu Lingqing held her hand. Since she didn't admit that she was Baya, it didn't matter. He wouldn't force her. He would treat her as Wu Nian and pursue her again. Gu Lingqing kissed her hand. Wu Nian withdrew her hand. He kissed her lips again and turned his face away. He still touched the place where she couldn't avoid. Wu Nian pushed his hand. It was already like this, but she felt aggrieved if she didn't do anything. Gu Lingqing held her hand that was messing around and pressed it against her side. He said hoarsely, "You reacted very well. This is the same as your cavernous body. It's the human body's self-protection mechanism. You're so big, so you'll definitely feel pain," Wu Nian explained. Gu Lingqing smiled. "I'll be gentler. Don't push me anymore." Wu Nian's heart throbbed. He was very familiar with this side of him. "I can sue you." Gu Lingqing kissed her lips. Wu Nian saw that he wasn't afraid, nor was he angry. It was as if he had her in his grasp. She certainly would not sue him. On the one hand, he was Xiao Yan's father, and Xiao Yan needed his father to take care of him. On the other hand, she valued his reputation more than her life. How could she do anything to hurt him? However, she felt very aggrieved. The corners of Gu Lingqing's lips curled up. Before he could relax, he felt that his body and mind were both satisfied. He suddenly became enlightened, and the hostility on his body also disappeared. He became gentle, and he undid the zipper on her back. "No, I'm cold," Wu Nian rejected him. "Hug me tightly if you're cold." "I'm hot," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian, however, he didn't take off her dress. He was afraid that she would really be cold. He just pulled her dress down and revealed the gel pad. Wu Nian blushed. "Don't take it off." He didn't know how to play with it. Girls' things were unfamiliar to him. He kissed her chest, collarbone and retreated. Wu Nian knew what he was going to do. She held his arm. "Don't be like this. I haven't showered yet." Gu Lingqing laughed. He even said that she wasn't Baiya. He knew his habits, so she knew what he was going to do the moment he retreated. "Then I'm coming in," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian didn't know whether to agree or not. She turned her face away. He turned her face. "Wu Nian, I like you. What I said to you previously wasn't a lie." Wu Nian's heart was beating extremely fast. Under his patience, she became more and more emotional. She now knew why Alan was so good, but she only felt like a burden. Because her heart was still with Gu Lingqing. She knew that she couldn't accept Alan, so she felt apologetic and guilty. However, she was an inauspicious person. If she stayed by Gu Lingqing's side, she would only be a burden. She didn't want the things in the past to happen again. She just wanted to see him safe and sound from afar. After Gu Lingqing did that, he still hugged her tightly, as if he was afraid that she would disappear. Wu Nian frowned. She had already slept with him. She didn't think that going to his house was just to be a home tutor. However, she couldn't directly reject the opportunity to be by Xiao Yan's side. If she rejected it, the opportunity wouldn't come again. If she turned back, it probably wouldn't be so simple. Maybe it was because her mind was still not clear, or maybe it was too late and her mind was muddled. She felt a little annoyed, so she closed her eyes and calmed down for a few minutes. "Are we considered to be buddies?" Wu Nian asked. Gu Lingqing looked at her, covered the two of them with the clothes and said with certainty, "I treat you as my girlfriend." "I don't want to," Wu Nian emphasized. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. "Then how do you want me to make it up to you?" "We can't let a third party know about our relationship. If a third party knows, I will immediately move out of your house and our contract will be terminated. Besides..." Wu Nian pursed her lips. Besides, he couldn't stop her from seeing Xiao Yan. But saying this would be too targeted. She was afraid that Gu Lingqing would suspect her. "Besides what?" Gu Lingqing asked with a good temper. "You have to promise me 3 things unconditionally." Wu Nian changed her words. Gu Lingqing smiled. "Okay, I promise you everything." Wu Nian lowered her head. She actually slept with Gu Lingqing again. Everything, it was like a dream, so unreal, so beyond her imagination and control. Sure enough, the plan was not as fast as the changes. "Break up with Alan," Gu Lingqing requested. She had slept with Gu Lingqing now, and it was not good to delay Alan. Wu Nian nodded. She should renegotiate with Alan. "You don't have to worry about Lu Shuang. I will arrange it. It is safer than Alan's arrangement," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. "How do you know?" "Lu Shuang is not a businessman. She must have made an agreement with Shen Yiyan when she got involved in this cooperation. What she wants most is to leave Shen Yiyan. That's why she did it herself and even went to Stephen's Island," Gu Lingqing guessed. Wu Nian's eyes darkened. She believed that as long as Gu Lingqing intervened, Lu Shuang would definitely leave. However, she was afraid that he would become enemies with Shen Yan. He was different from Alan. Alan was a British aristocrat. Even if Shen Yan knew that it was Alan who did it, she would not do anything to Alan for the sake of the overall situation. But he was different. He was from Country A. His company was in Country A. His parents, family, brothers and friends were all in Country A. Chapter 388. She couldn't drag him down as soon as she had sex with him. Mr. Gu. What did you call me? Gu Lingqing frowned. You promised me that you wouldn't let a third person know. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way I address you. You don't have to be angry with me, Wu Nian retorted. I'll pay attention when there are many people around. But now, it's just the two of us. The way you address me is too distant. It makes me feel distant, Gu Lingqing explained. Wu Nian thought about it and changed the way she addressed him. Lingqing, it's like this. You've misunderstood Lu Shuang. It's not about that. Ever since he got together with Shen Yan, he had a falling out with his family. You don't have to worry about this. After all, the one who started the trouble has to end it. Is that really the case? Then why did you get close to Alan? Gu Lingqing was suspicious. Shen Yan said that if we can't get the painting at the auction, we should look for Alan. Alan and Stephen are good friends. Coincidentally, I saved Alan on the plane. So, I got close to Alan and asked him to bring us to the island, Wu Nian said. We've already been to the island. Alan has already returned to China. He has a fiancée. You shouldn't contact him anymore, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian looked down. I'm a little sleepy. I'll sleep for a while. She closed her eyes. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything else. She rolled over, her back to him. She and Gu Lingqing were like this. She couldn't keep Alan waiting. But there were some things that she needed Alan's help with. She thought that she wouldn't be able to sleep. Unexpectedly, she slept until dawn and woke up when someone came to open the door. Hey, why are you here? The cleaner yelled. Wu Nian thought of what she did with Gu Lingqing last night. She blushed and felt a little embarrassed. She could tell from the cleaner's eyes that she wasn't innocent. Gu Lingqing took out $100 and gave it to the cleaner. I was accidentally locked on the rooftop yesterday. Don't tell anyone about this. Oh. The cleaner took the money and readily agreed. Gu Lingqing pulled Wu Nian up and held her hand as they walked towards the exit. Wu Nian pulled her hand back. Gu Lingqing glanced at her. It's still early. Stephen probably hasn't woken up yet. I'll book a room here. You can rest there for a while. I'll go out and buy clothes for you later. It's still early and the mall isn't open yet. I'll go back and pack my luggage. I'll go back tomorrow after the negotiation, Wu Nian said with her head lowered. You should rest. You got up early yesterday morning to send Lu Shuang off, and you slept so late last night. You have dark circles under your eyes. Also, if Mo Shui calls Stephen, he will take you there. If you go back to the manor, you might have to wait for a few hours. Mo Shui can't wait. Mo Shui can't wait, Gu Lingqing said gently. Wu Nian couldn't dissuade him. I'll book the room myself. Gu Lingqing didn't force her. When Wu Nian was booking a room at the front desk, her phone rang. She took it out and saw that it was a message from the bank, reminding her that her account had increased to 10 million. Gu Lingqing also texted her. Ask me if it's not enough. Wu Nian was speechless. I have money. It's not appropriate for me to take your money. I'll return it to you when I get back. Wu Nian texted Gu Lingqing back. How much savings does your teacher at the orphanage have? The cheapest room here is more than 3,000. Where did you get so much money? Gu Lingqing also texted her back. Wu Nian pursed her lips and looked at Gu Lingqing. He kept his phone and looked at her too. Woon Yen lowered her head and texted, "I won more than $1 million from Su Jiran last time. It's enough for me to use for the rest of my life. I'll leave the money with you. Help me save it and give it to me when I need it." Gu Lingqing replied and added, "Let's not talk about this anymore. I'll go out and buy clothes for you." I'll go buy it myself. Don't you know what I like?" Woon Yen texted him quickly, but Gu Lingqing had already left. She was speechless. Woon Yen went back to her room and took a hot shower. She put on the hotel bathrobe and lay on the bed to sleep. She didn't know how long she had slept, but she was woken up by her phone ringing. She took out her phone from her bag and saw it was a call from Stephen. She picked it up immediately. "I'm sorry. I didn't want that B*TCH to disturb me last night, so I turned off my phone. Are you looking for me to talk about a collaboration?" Stephen said with a smile. Woon Yen was ambiguous and answered with a dry smile. She was the one who asked him to open the door on the rooftop yesterday. Now that they had all come down from the rooftop, she felt guilty if others knew that she and Gu Lingqing had spent the whole night on the rooftop. "Don't worry about that. I've promised Gu Lingqing that I'll bring you along when I go to paint for her." "Have you prepared the business plan?" Stephen asked. "Business plan, right?" Woon Yen hesitated. I know you. Only people who want to do business understand. You can ask Lingqing when you're free. Lingqing should know about it. You should prepare it early. Mo Shui is a very picky person. That's all for now. I'm going to have breakfast first. I'll call you after she calls me," Stephen said and hung up the phone. Woon Yen looked at the time. It was 11 am. Stephen ate his breakfast a little later than usual. She called Gu Lingqing. "You're up?" Gu Lingqing asked. "Yes. Do you know about the business plan?" Woon Yen asked. "Come and open the door," Gu Lingqing said. Woon Yen's heart skipped a beat. She got off the bed and put on the hotel's disposable slippers. She walked to the door and looked through the peephole. Gu Lingqing was standing at her door. She opened the door in surprise. Gu Lingqing was carrying several bags in her hands. "Have you been here for a long time?" Woon Yen asked softly. "No, I just got here," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. She walked in and put all the bags on the sofa. She turned around and looked at her. Woon Yen then remembered that she was still wearing the hotel bathrobe. She didn't wear anything inside. She adjusted her clothes awkwardly. "I've finished the business plan. Change your clothes first. I'll take you out for dinner," Gu Lingqing said and sat down on the sofa. She took out a stack of papers from one of the bags and put it on the coffee table. Woon Yen picked it up and flipped through it. It was all professional jargon of jewelry business. She couldn't understand it. The only thing she could understand were some branches and some data. "Have you talked to Shanian about this?" "Yes." "If Mo Shui doesn't agree, will we give in?" "No." Gu Lingqing looked at her. "Aren't you going to change your clothes?" "Oh." Woon Yen felt awkward. She tucked her hair behind her ear, picked up the clothes on the sofa and walked to the bathroom. She deliberately locked the door. Gu Lingqing, he walked up and knocked on the door. Chapter 389. "Wash your hands," Gu Lingqing said. "Okay." Woon Yen opened the door and stood at the side. Gu Lingqing turned on the tap, absorbed the water, and looked at Woon Yen in the mirror. She stood quietly at the side, her eyes slightly lowered, as if she was following his gaze. He thought of her stubbornness, and his gaze sharpened. "Why did you lock the door? Are you afraid that I'll eat you up?" It's a habit," Woon Yen explained. Gu Lingqing turned around and looked at her. "Did you call Alan?" "I came back too early. I just woke up, and I didn't have the time." "Is it because you don't want to call?" Gu Lingqing questioned, his gaze locked onto her. Wu Nian felt the pressure increase. You don't believe me? I'm afraid that you'll run away, or go out and pretend that you don't know me. You're 6 years younger than me, and you have a lot of youth to play with. I have 2 kids, and I can't wait. Gu Lingqing said sarcastically. Why did Wu Nian feel that he was talking about Baya? His gaze was locked. Even if you have 2 kids, there are still plenty of women who like you. Didn't Avril confess to you last night? Are there more women who like me than you? Su Jiran, Alan, and others I don't know. Am I the spare tire or are they the spare tire? Gu Lingqing said angrily. Spare tire? He was the one who was too domineering and forced his way in. She had never planned to date him again, and it was all her fault. She was a fickle woman, and she played with love. Wu Nian's gaze turned cold, and his expression hardened. If you think you're the spare tire, then you're the spare tire. If you think so, I can't change your mind. Now, I'm going to change, please get out. Gu Lingqing held her shoulders and pushed her against the wall. His eyes were bloodshot. You don't care about me that much? You don't even want to explain if I think so? If you don't believe me, no matter how I explain, it's useless. How do you expect me to believe you? Gu Lingqing said in a low voice and looked at her sharply. Wu Nian looked at him coldly. Since you don't believe me, why should I say more? If you want to end our relationship, then end it. Gu Lingqing purses her lips and looks at her. Her black pupils are locked, and her breathing becomes unstable, all on her face. It's over, right? Gu Lingqing asked. Wu Nian's heart was filled with sorrow, but he didn't plan to start or end, so he didn't feel too conflicted. He nodded. Stop dreaming. It's impossible. I'll wait for you outside. Gu Lingqing walked out, looking a little dispirited. Wu Nian stared blankly for a while, then sighed. His eyes became misty. How many lovers did a person's sin have to drag down before he could be set free? She wiped her tears and looked at herself in the mirror. Didn't they say that plastic surgery and changing one's name could change one's fate and original trajectory? Why did she feel that after going around in circles, she was still back to the starting point? She wiped her tears, splashed her face with cold water, and dried the water on her face. Her eyes were a little red. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and opened them again. She regained her composure, changed her clothes, and went out. Gu Lingqing smoked 3 cigarettes and was smoking the 4th. Wu Nian snatched the cigarette from his hand and pinched out the butt. Smoking is bad for your health. Gu Lingqing hugged her waist and held her in his arms. He lowered his head and kissed her lips. It was hard, forceful, fierce, and surging. The strong masculine breath mixed with the mature smell of smoke rushed into her internal organs, and Wu Nian couldn't resist it at all. Based on her understanding of Gu Lingqing, at this moment, if she pushed him away, he would kiss her even deeper. She would be even more unable to resist, and could only let him kiss her. Gu Lingqing kissed her for 5 minutes before letting her go. His eyes were filled with pain, and he asked, You study psychology. Tell me, what should I do now? There are 2 kinds of feelings in the world that are the most tempting. One is that you can't get it, and the other is that you have lost it. In fact, if you jump out of this mental barrier, you will find that there are many better people in the world. Is that what you think? So, you will quickly forget a relationship, even if that relationship is hard and unforgettable. Gu Lingqing questioned. What I think is not important. What's important is that you think so. Wu Nian said softly. I want to be with you, to live a simple life. There doesn't need to be many things happening every day. As long as we have breakfast together, have dinner together, sleep on the same bed, we can discuss our children's studies, growth, and troubles in life. We can grow old together. That's good enough. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His eyes were red. He didn't ask for much. He didn't ask for much. It would be good if he didn't have to wait all the time. Wu Nian's eyes were also red. The emotions that she had tried so hard to control were stirred, and tears flowed out. She yearned for the kind of life that Gu Lingqing talked about. That was a home. No matter how far she drifted, she would want to go back. In this life, people come and go alone. They look for things, grow up alone, and work alone. They only want to find someone they can protect. Then, they won't be lonely anymore. Their soul will also have a home. When they die, they won't feel that their life has been in vain. However, she was afraid that if she stayed by his side, he would only die. If he died, her world would collapse. She just wanted to stay by his side quietly, take care of him, take care of Xiao Yan. That was enough for her. When Gu Lingqing saw her crying, all his anger, complaints, and unwillingness turned into pity. He kissed her tears. Xiao Nian, we can do it. Wu Nian nodded. Gu Lingqing kissed her again. You must be hungry. Let's go out to eat first. Wu Nian shook her head. I'll order in my room to eat. It's too dangerous to eat outside. What's the danger you're talking about? Gu Lingqing asked sharply. I don't want other people to find out about our relationship, Wu Nian said. What if other people find out about our relationship? What kind of danger will happen? Gu Lingqing asked. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Wu Nian wanted to get down from Gu Lingqing's lap. Gu Lingqing hugged her and didn't let her get down. Wu Nian, you're a coward. Whenever you encounter something, you like to hide in your shell. That's because you don't know my past and the way my character was nurtured. I'm a coward. What's wrong with being a coward? Those who died before me were all bold and ignorant. That's just my character. If you like me, then like me. If not, then forget it. Gu Lingqing let go of Wu Nian. Wu Nian stood up. She didn't dare to look at Gu Lingqing. She picked up the built-in phone and called the front desk to order food. She heard a bang and looked at the door. Gu Lingqing had gone out. Chapter 390. Gu Lingqing was such a proud person. But she used his love to hurt him wantonly. She tried her best to show him that a woman was willful, domineering, unreasonable, mean, and difficult to get along with. She would soon push him far, far away, until his love was consumed. But it didn't matter, as long as she loved him, as long as she knew that she was doing the right thing. Gu Lingqing had sacrificed a lot for her. She still remembered how he looked in his military uniform. He was upright and righteous, and his gaze could determine victory from 1,000 miles away. It was a kind of arrogance, a kind of pride. She still remembered when they first met. He said, I am a soldier, I will protect you. He went to a military school to study at a very early age. He started as a special forces soldier and made great achievements. Without the help of his family, he risked his life to go deep into the enemy's territory and made great achievements. These were all his dreams to protect his family and country. He was not forced, nor was he forced, but it was something he loved. His career. Because of her, he almost became a traitor. Because of her, he almost died on the deserted island. Because of her, he left the military. How could she bear to put him in danger again? Wu Nian wiped her tears and turned over. She didn't even have the appetite to eat and curled up. Perhaps Gu Lingqing would be very sad and tormented during this period, but it would be fine after this period. When the past feelings were consumed, separation would be a relief. Wu Nian lay for half an hour before someone knocked on the door. She got up from the bed and opened the door when she saw it was the waiter. Dear customer, your order is steak, the waiter said respectfully. Wu Nian was surprised. I didn't order it, you sent it to the wrong place. That's right, it was a Mr. Gu who ordered it. He told you not to starve, the waiter explained. Wu Nian understood that it was Gu Lingqing who ordered it. How did he know that she didn't order it? I understand, thank you, Wu Nian said. The waiter pushed the cart in and opened the lid. Inside were steak, vegetable salad, foie gras, and a glass of red wine. Wu Nian ate his steak while studying Gu Lingxing's proposal. If there was something she didn't understand, she would do it. She would memorize the key points, especially the reasons to convince Mo Shui to cooperate. Just as he finished eating, his phone rang. She saw it was Stephen and answered. "Where are you?" Mo Shui called and asked me to come over, Stephen said. "I'm at the hotel. I'll wait for you in the lobby." Wu Nian put the proposal in her bag, tidied up her hair, applied some honey cream, foundation, eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick, and hurried downstairs. Stephen was already there, dressed casually, accompanied by his butler, who had brought his painting tools. "Sorry, I'm late," Wu Nian apologized. "It's okay, we just arrived." Stephen looked her up and down. "I thought you were really beautiful yesterday. No man could resist you." Wu Nian, in other words, she wasn't pretty today. When Stephen mentioned yesterday, she remembered what had happened on the top floor. She blushed and lowered her head. A luxurious Rolls-Royce drove over. The butler opened the door. Stephen sat in the back seat, and Wu Nian sat next to him. The butler sat in the front passenger seat. Stephen looked at Wu Nian again. Wu Nian felt uncomfortable being stared at. She asked, "Is there something on my face?" "The dress is beautiful." "It suits you very well," Stephen said with a smile. "Thank you," Wu Nian said politely. "Haha." Stephen laughed. "Alan called me this morning and asked about you. You know my situation better than I do." "You didn't call him?" Stephen asked. "I woke up too late. I just had lunch, so I didn't have time," Wu Nian explained. "Really?" "Ha ha ha." Stephen laughed again. Wu Nian felt that his laughter was weird, so she didn't want to talk to him anymore. She turned her face away and looked out of the window. She would deal with Alan sooner or later, but not now. She would wait until she went to Mo Shui's place. After driving for half an hour, they arrived at Mo Shui's castle. There were 2 expressionless guards at the door. The driver was sent by Mo Shui to pick Stephen up. After a quick check, he let them in. Mo Shui's castle was very dreamy. There was a garden of roses and roses inside the door. Normal roses would start to wither in September, but the flowers here were blooming and full of fragrance. After entering the garden, they saw the retro design of the courtyard and the lake. After driving for another 3 minutes, they finally arrived at the majestic old castle. Mo Shui's butler was already waiting for them at the door. Wu Nian followed Stephen in. They walked through a long corridor before they reached the door of the main hall. Before entering, she heard the laughter of young girls. The guard opened the door. She saw Mo Shui, Avril, a man she didn't know, and Gu Lingqing. She didn't expect Gu Lingqing to be here. Surprised, she walked in with her head down. Mo Shui looked at Stephen and said in disdain, "When did you change from an artist to a lobbyist? You even brought someone here to paint. I was afraid that you would be cheated, so I introduced a reliable person to you." Stephen sat down in front of Mo Shui. "You are the one who cheated me the most. Let's not discuss whether you cheated me or I cheated you first. You talked to her first." Stephen picked up the orange on the table and peeled it. Mo Shui rolled her eyes at Stephen and said to Wu Nian indifferently, "Come with me. There are too many irrelevant people here." Everyone knew that Mo Shui was referring to Stephen when she said outsiders. Stephen didn't show any strange expression and continued to eat his orange. Wu Nian followed Mo Shui to her study. Mo Shui sat on the sofa and spun around. She looked at Wu Nian lazily. "Since Stephen introduced you, I'll give you a chance. 19, I'll get 9, and you get 1. If the ratio is not like this, no way." Wu Nian smiled. "Do you know how many jewelers there are in country A? Does it have anything to do with me?" Mo Shui said arrogantly. "Mo Shui, you're interested in the market of country A because of the spending power of the people there. Country A has been developing rapidly in the past 2 years. The annual sales of luxury goods exceed 800 billion, and jewelry occupies 65% of the market. The profits in Country A are very good. So? Mo Shui shrugged. My company can occupy 80% of the market because the boss behind my company is a top figure in the political and social circle of Country A. We hope to split it 50-50. The details are in the proposal. Wu Nian passed the proposal to Mo Shui. Mo Shui took it and glanced at it. She sneered, "The jewelry is mine, and the designer is mine too. You're just helping me buy it, and you want 50% of the profits? Isn't it too much? When a movie is produced and broadcasted, the sales platform usually wants 60% of the sales." Wu Nian reminded. Chapter 391. What? Wu Nian was surprised by Mo Shui's sudden question. Mo Shui smirked. Mr. Gu usually doesn't want to talk to Avril. He doesn't even look at her. Every time he shows up, you will be there. Don't tell me that you don't know each other. Wu Nian understood and smiled. I can't believe we are fated to meet each other. Are you guys related? If there is no relationship, why would he give this cooperation to you? Mo Shui said aggressively. The last time I went to Stevens Island, Mr. Gu was there too. There was an accident and they all thought that I saved them. I think that's probably the reason. There's a bit of luck involved. In fact, most of the successful people from ancient times to the present had a bit of luck. I'm lucky. Very well, if you work with me, I believe you will be lucky too. Wu Nian said with a smile. You're eloquent. I'll think about it. The word think was mostly an excuse. Often, after thinking about it, there would be endless waiting. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you'll let me know tomorrow. My company is in the jewelry business. If you don't agree, I'll have to go to Sri Lanka. There are some jewelers there to talk to. Wu Nian nodded. Wait, didn't you come here to talk to me? Mo Shui was suspicious and a little angry. My boss heard that you're looking for a partner in Country A, so he came here immediately. After all, he's familiar with Country X. He's also familiar with you. But if you don't like us, we can only look for other suppliers. To be honest, no matter who we work with, we'll take 80% of the market. You know that the sales of luxury goods mainly rely on reputation and connections. My company already has connections. As for reputation, it's in the operation. How to operate is explained clearly in my proposal. If you have other things to do, I won't disturb you anymore. I'll wait for your good news. Wu Nian nodded. Mo Shui's expression softened. Since you're here, have dinner before you leave. The manor is huge. I'll let Avril show you around. Then I'll do as you say. Wu Nian smiled politely. Mo Shui called Avril and Avril came up. Let's go, pretty girl, Avril said with a smile. She walked over and held onto Wu Nian's arm. Other than Lu Shuang, Wu Nian wasn't used to being so close to other girls. He felt uncomfortable because he wasn't familiar with them. Qing, I'm taking her to the manor to play. Do you want to come along? Avril called out to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing glanced at Wu Nian's face and stood up. Wu Nian's heart trembled and he lowered his eyes. If Mo Shui didn't mention it, she wouldn't have noticed it. Now that she thought about it, it seemed that he really went wherever she went. Avril watched as Gu Lingqing left. She ran towards Gu Lingqing excitedly and held onto Gu Lingqing's arm. Let me show you the most magical castle in X City. It has a history of 500 years. My mother said that the princess used to live in it. Castle? She still remembered that when she came back from America, she received a strange case. She went to the castle and found many corpses in the attic. Ever since that incident, she didn't have a good impression of any castle. Mo Shui's manor had a special car. The driver drove. Avril got in first and sat in the first row. Gu Lingqing waited for Wu Nian to get in the car. Wu Nian sat in the second row. Hurry up, Qing, Avril said enthusiastically. Gu Lingqing got in the car and sat in the last row. He looked to the left. Avril looked at Gu Lingqing. She was a little disappointed that he didn't sit with her. The castle was at the northernmost part of the manor. It only took 5 minutes to get there. Avril jumped out of the car and stood in the last row. Wu Nian had a strange feeling. He pretended to be calm and got out of the car. Gu Lingqing glanced at Wu Nian from the corner of his eyes. He frowned slightly and got out of the car. Avril held on to Gu Lingqing's arm and said coquettishly, "Can you sit with me from now on?" "I think I've made myself very clear last time," Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. "I don't mind you having 2 kids. I also don't mind you having a wife. Anyway, your wife isn't in X city. You can look for me when you come," Avril said generously. Wu Nian was speechless. The women in X country were really open-minded. It was a different country with a different culture. She definitely couldn't adapt to X country. Hee hee. Gu Lingqing took Avril's hand away. "Please behave yourself." "All right. Just think of it as me thinking too much. I won't give up anyway." Avril walked towards the castle. The castle was very dark. He couldn't see anything. A warm hand held onto Wu Nian's hand. The palm was a little rough. There were only her, Avril, and Gu Lingqing here. Other than Gu Lingqing, there was no one else. Avril turned on the flashlight on her phone. Wu Nian instinctively pulled his hand back and looked at Gu Lingqing. He was completely hidden in the darkness. His expression couldn't be seen. Avril used the light from her phone to light up the oil lamp. She turned off the flashlight and explained, "My mother said that when we visit the castle, we should use an oil lamp. It's better in the dark. Your mother likes excitement. Or rather, she likes to provoke people," Wu Nian said calmly. Avril laughed. "I think so. Every time there are guests, she likes to let them enter the castle. Ha 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 ha. Then, she will watch them run out in panic. Ha ha." Wu Nian's lips twitched. He looked at the wall. Some of the paintings on the wall were very bloody. Under the dim light, it was especially scary. But to her, it was just child's play. She had seen many dead people and performed many surgeries. She didn't believe in spirits at all. Since she didn't believe in them, she wouldn't be afraid. Avril stopped in front of a painting and said, "This painting is of a pirate. This pirate story is a little tragic. Rumor has it that he was cursed and could only stay in the Caribbean Sea. But a soldier didn't believe it. He forcefully brought him out of the Caribbean Sea and hanged him. Before he died, he said that he would steal the souls of everyone who saw his face. It must be a scary story." "It does sound scary," Wu Nian replied. Avril walked up the stairs. Wu Nian followed. When she passed by the painting of the pirate, she heard a cold laugh. She looked at the painting of the pirate. The pirate, who had a serious expression on his face, had a creepy smile. Gu Lingqing saw it too. He put his hand on her waist. Wu Nian knew that he wanted to protect her. She was touched. She purposely made him angry in the morning. He left angrily, but he ordered lunch for her. Now, he was protecting her meticulously. Chapter 392. Seeing that the people behind her didn't respond, Avril turned around and looked at the picture. She said in horror, "What's going on? Weren't the pirates smiling just now? Why are they smiling now? This is a two-sided drawing. Because of the position and lighting, the angle of view is different, so you'll see a different picture," Wu Nian explained. "Oh, I see. Qing, I'm a little scared. Can you hold my hand and walk?" Avril said to Gu Lingqing. Wu Nian chuckled. Gu Lingqing pinched her waist for a moment before letting go of her. Avril heard Wu Nian's laughter and asked, "What are you laughing at?" "Your mother is very cute," Wu Nian said meaningfully. "She's so pitiful that no one loves her." "Let's continue up," Avril said. Suddenly, something fell from above. Avril screamed in shock. Wu Nian was caught off guard. He was also shocked and took a step back. Avril shone the oil lamp on the ground. There was nothing. She asked Gu Lingqing in horror, "Qing, do you see anything?" "I'm scared." Gu Lingqing took the oil lamp from her hand and said to her in a low voice, "You're a little timid, and you're always so jumpy. I can tour around here by myself. If you're afraid, you can wait outside." Avril was speechless. She came here often. Why would she be scared? She wanted Gu Lingqing to protect her, but he didn't even bother to look at her. "Are you scared?" Avril asked Wu Nian. "How about we turn on the light and make it brighter?" "We can see better," Wu Nian suggested. She wasn't scared at all. The scariest thing in the world wasn't these ghosts, but the human heart. "There's no light here. It's best not to use a flashlight. Otherwise, you'll see something unexpected," Avril muttered. "So do you mean to let us look or not?" Gu Lingqing asked coldly. "Do you want to see? If so, I'll take you in. If not, I'll take you out," Avril said. "Then let's go," Gu Lingqing said and walked in front. Avril held Gu Lingqing's arm. Wu Nian stood behind them and walked downstairs. Gu Lingqing tried to open the door but it wouldn't budge. He frowned and looked at Avril. "How do I open the door?" "Just pull." Avril tried, but it wouldn't budge. She pulled with both hands, but it still wouldn't budge. She angrily knocked on the door. "Is there anyone outside?" "Open up, Slack." "Open up." Slack was the chauffeur who had driven them there, and no one answered. Avril frowned and kicked the door hard. "Open, Edie," Avril said. She picked up her phone and prepared to make a call, but there was no signal at all. She looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise and asked, "Qing, is there a signal on your phone?" Gu Lingqing took out his phone. Ariel craned her neck to see. There was no signal on Gu Lingqing's phone either. She was astonished. How could it be? There's usually a signal here. What the hell? Is it fun? I'll take a break first. Gu Lingqing put the oil lamp on the coffee table and sat on the sofa. "I'm not playing. I really didn't ask anyone to lock the door." "I'm not lying to you," Avril said anxiously. Gu Lingqing paid no attention to her. Avril knocked on the door. "Sykes, open up. If you don't, I'll fire you." Slack. There was still no sound from outside. Wu Nian held Avril's hand. Her palms were sweaty from fear. Wu Nian frowned and looked at Gu Lingqing. "Mr. Gu," Avril didn't lie. She really didn't lock the door. "Come and sit." Since she didn't lock the door, nobody would listen to her, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian held Avril's hand and sat in front of Gu Lingqing. "What's going on?" "The people in the manor know that I'm a coward. I don't dare to lock the door. I'm so scared." Avril looked at Gu Lingqing in fear. "Your mother will come looking for you in half a day. You can sit here if you're scared." "Don't go anywhere," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. "Then where are you going?" Avril sat next to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. She looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian lowered her head. She wasn't a troublemaker. Since Avril didn't do it on purpose, she was worried about other dangers. It was safer for everyone to sit together. Mo Shui would probably come looking for her at night. No one said anything. Avril leaned closer and closer to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing frowned and stood up. "Where are you going?" Avril asked worriedly. "The washroom. There should be one here, right?" Gu Lingqing asked. Yes, I'll take you there. Avril stood up and walked towards the washroom. Gu Lingqing went into the washroom. Seeing that Avril didn't leave, he frowned and reached out to close the door. Avril pushed the door and said worriedly, "You didn't lock the door." "I'm scared." "I'm sorry. We're men and women." Gu Lingqing closed the door forcefully. He washed his hands and came out. Avril wasn't there. He walked to the sofa. Wu Nian used his phone's flashlight to illuminate the room. "Where is she?" Wu Nian asked. "She didn't come back?" Gu Lingqing was suspicious. Wu Nian shook her head. "She kept saying she was scared." "She still sticks to you. You're back but she hasn't. Could something have happened to her?" "Avril." Wu Nian shouted loudly. No one answered her. The cold wind in the castle sounded like the laughter of the devil. "Avril." Wu Nian shouted again. Still, no one answered her. She was worried. She looked at Gu Lingqing and said, "Let's look around. Something doesn't feel right. Why do I feel like it's a prank?" She purposely led us to look at the pirate map. "She purposely made a fuss," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. "She did it on purpose at the beginning, but after the door was locked, she didn't do it on purpose anymore. When I held her hand, her palm was covered in cold sweat. It was secreted out of fear. She couldn't fake it," Wu Nian said in a deep voice. He stood up and walked towards the line of defense in the washroom, shouting, "Avril." Gu Lingqing followed behind Wu Nian. She shone the flashlight downstairs. That door was closed when we came in. "It's open now." Wu Nian immediately walked towards the door. Gu Lingqing held her hand. "Stand behind me." Wu Nian thought for a moment and stood behind Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing walked towards the door and scanned the room with the flashlight. There were a few dark paintings, a fireplace, a table, 4 wooden chairs, and a rocking chair. The chairs were still shaking. "Someone was in this room just now," Wu Nian said. "There are 2 possibilities. 1, it's a prank. 2, Avril was drugged," Gu Lingqing said. Chapter 393. Do you think it was done by 1 person or 2? Gu Lingqing asked. No less than 2 people. They drugged Avril and didn't let the lamp fall to the ground. 1 person couldn't have done it. The one who locked the door didn't come in from the front door because the door was locked from the outside. If the one who locked the door came in, then there must be another way in. Wu Nian walked to the fireplace and looked at the ashes inside. Gu Lingqing, look. Gu Lingqing walked over and saw the drag marks on the ground. I'll go take a look. He went in and quickly came out. Oil splashed down from above. Then, there were more than 10 pieces of wood that were on fire. When the wood came into contact with the oil, it burst into flames. Gu Lingqing pulled Wu Nian's hand and took 3 steps back. Break the door, Gu Lingqing said. He picked up a chair, walked out, and smashed it against the door. Once, twice, 3 times. On the 6th time, the door was smashed open. Sykes had been stabbed in the neck. He was lying on the steering wheel with blood all over the ground. Wu Nian put his hand under Sykes's nose. He was already dead. He shook his head at Gu Lingqing. Run forward and call Mo Shui when there's a signal. Tell her to close the door and get the surveillance footage immediately, Gu Lingqing said. He climbed onto the roof of the car and looked around. I see them. There are 3 of them. I'll go after them. Gu Lingqing jumped off the roof of the car and quickly ran toward the north gate. Wu Nian immediately called Mo Shui when there was a signal. Mo Shui, something happened. Someone kidnapped Avril. Send someone to the north gate immediately. After saying that, Wu Nian hung up the phone and ran towards the north gate. Gu Lingqing saw the 3 people shoving Avril into the van and grabbing the door. Gu Lingqing, be careful, Wu Nian shouted worriedly. Gu Lingqing jumped into the van. Another person was kicked out of the other door. When the man's companion saw that his companion had been attacked, he immediately got out of the car with a knife in his hand and warned fiercely, "Mind your own business." Gu Lingqing looked at the two masked men coldly and rushed over. He was so fast that one of the masked men's hands was restrained by him and the knife fell to the ground. The other wanted to help, but Gu Lingqing grabbed his wrist and pressed him against the car door. The man on the ground clutched his stomach and crawled up. When he saw Mo Shui's men coming over, he immediately ran away. "Catch him," Mo Shui said harshly. Some of the bodyguards ran towards the escaping man, while the rest helped Gu Lingqing to pin down the two men. "Where is Avril?" Mo Shui asked Wu Nian. "In the car," Wu Nian said. The butler opened the car door and carried Avril out. He reported to Mo Shui, "Miss is unconscious." Mo Shui angrily took off the mask of the masked man and asked in surprise, "It's you?" The masked man lowered his head in panic. "You know him?" Stephen asked. "My nephew. He's a lazy man who likes to eat, drink, and gamble. Last week, he borrowed 2 million from me, but I refused. I didn't expect him to do such a crazy thing." Mo Shui was so angry that her teeth itched. "Auntie, you have so much money. What's wrong with giving me 2 million? If I don't pay you back next week, my hand will be gone." "That's your business. I won't give you my money." "Send him to the police station," Mo Shui said coldly. "It seems that you're in a bad mood today. I won't disturb you anymore. I'll continue painting for you tomorrow," Stephen said. Mo Shui rolled her eyes at him. "I didn't get my money from the ground. Both of them are scheming against me." "You're so smart. Who can scheme against you? If you think that the person I introduced is unreliable, then don't cooperate with him. This is your freedom." "Don't exaggerate the truth," Stephen said unhappily. "Then why did you suddenly paint for me? Don't tell me that you don't want anything." "I don't believe you," Mo Shui said harshly. "Heh." Stephen sneered. "You're always like this. I'm glad that I didn't marry you. Since you think that I want something from you, then let's end it. I won't paint for you." Stephen turned around. Mo Shui held his hand. Stephen didn't look at her. "I'm in a bad mood, so I'm talking nonsense. My daughter was almost kidnapped and my servant was killed. Please understand me," Mo Shui said apologetically. "Mo Shui," Stephen called her. He looked at her from the corner of his eyes. "I've finished painting for you. Consider it a full stop between us. Don't look for me in the future." Mo Shui pursed her lips and looked at him. "Have you ever liked me? I like your straightforwardness. I like your honesty. I also like that you're never pretentious. When I was young and frivolous, would experiment. Now that I'm older, I know what's suitable for me." "You're not," Stephen said in a low voice. "Then you don't have to paint for me." "I don't care," Mo Shui said angrily as she let go of Stephen's hand. Stephen walked towards the front. Mo Shui stomped her feet. "Come back." Stephen didn't turn around. He disappeared into the shade. Wu Nian raised her eyebrows. Mo Shui used her unreasonable behavior to push the man away. "Her and Gu Lingqing?" She looked at Gu Lingqing subconsciously. Gu Lingqing was also looking at her. Wu Nian's heart trembled. She lowered her head guiltily. "Hey, that. Miss Wu, right? I agree to your conditions. When do you want to sign the contract?" Mo Shui said angrily. "My company will send someone over to sign the contract. When do you have time?" Wu Nian said politely. Mo Shui paused. She looked in the direction where Stephen disappeared and said, "Tomorrow." Wu Nian called Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was in a good mood. He told Shani Yan that Shani Yan would send someone over to sign the contract. On the way back, Mo sent a car for her and Gu Lingqing. Wu Nian looked out of the window. She didn't talk to Gu Lingqing the whole time. The driver sent her to the hotel. Gu Lingqing also got out of the car. Wu Nian got into the elevator. He followed her into the elevator. When she came out of the elevator, Gu Lingqing also came out of the elevator. Wu Nian stopped. She thought about it. Maybe Gu Lingqing also booked a room on this floor. It was on the way to her. He didn't follow her on purpose. She continued to walk. She opened the door. When she turned around, Gu Lingqing was still standing behind her. Before she said anything, he pushed the door open and sat on the sofa. Wu Nian, Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian, who was standing at the door, and asked, "Are you still angry?" "No." Wu Nian regretted it the moment she said it. She should have been unreasonable. Gu Lingqing's eyes softened a little. "Come here." The correct way to open the door should be, "Why should I go there?" But before she said it, she had already walked over and sat down opposite him. Gu Lingqing stood up and put his hands on both sides of her body. "Go to France with me tomorrow." "Huh?" Chapter 394. Wu Nian looked into his eyes that were as vast as the stars and felt as though he was being sucked in. She rejected it rationally, but her heart was moving in the opposite direction. She had always wanted to travel with him, but she didn't have the chance. Could she go this time? His words of, "I don't know you, and there's no one who knows me," hit the spot that moved her the most. "If you go, how long will you be gone?" Wu Nian asked. Gu Lingqing smiled. "I'll listen to you. If you want to spend more time, I'll accompany you for a few more days. If you want to come back, I'll come back with you." His words resolved her worries once again. "Okay, then let's not meet tonight to avoid suspicion." "I'll see you in Paris," Wu Nian replied. Gu Lingqing lowered his head and kissed her lips deeply. There was no hidden joy in his eyes. He said softly, "I'll see you in Paris." Gu Lingqing went out. She checked out of the room and went back to pack her luggage. Since the cooperation was successful, Lu Shuang's trip was imminent. She needed to have a good talk with Alan. Wu Nian booked a flight ticket to London that night on her way back. She didn't tell Gu Lingqing. She arrived at the waiting room at 9:00 in the evening. She calculated the time. Country X was 7 hours ahead of England. It was 9:00 in the evening here, so it should be 2:00 in the afternoon in London. Wu Nian called Alan. Alan answered and smiled. "Have you had dinner?" "Yes, I booked a flight to London." "I'll arrive in London tomorrow morning," Wu Nian said straightforwardly. "Really? Really?" Alan was excited. "I have something to talk to you about," Wu Nian said apologetically. Alan's eyes darkened, but he still replied politely, "Okay, your flight is at 9:50 p.m. in Country X?" "Yes." "Call me when you arrive." "I'll pick you up at the airport," Alan said like a gentleman. "Okay." Wu Nian hung up the phone and went to the pantry to drink some water. He took a disposable cup and poured half a cup of cold water into it before mixing it with some hot water. "I saw you from afar. I thought I was mistaken." "Why? Are you going to London?" Su Jiran's voice rang out. Wu Nian looked back at him calmly and nodded. "Mr. Su, are you going back to China?" Su Jiran had a strange look on his face. "Do you want to hear my story?" Wu Nian chuckled and glanced at the time. "My plane leaves at 9:50, so I should be boarding 20 minutes earlier. You have half an hour to talk." Su Jiran also smiled, but there was a hint of bitterness in his smile. "You are indeed not her. She is sharper than you, and she won't give me a chance to speak for half an hour." "You mean Baya?" Wu Nian asked. Su Jiran nodded. "She is my wife." Wu Nian raised the corner of his mouth. Gu Lingqing also said that she is his wife. She married me first, and then they divorced, so she married Gu Lingqing. However, they also divorced, so she is now free, Su Jiran explained. It sounds like an interesting and complicated story, but... Wu Nian paused. With all due respect, you are not as infatuated as Gu Lingqing. At least he was happy for the rest of his life. Your private life is a bit hard to accept. If she comes back, I will definitely not be like this. Su Jiran smiled bitterly. I also feel dirty. A man's loyalty is not when he is affectionate and loving. However, when he is alone in an empty room, obviously you can't do it, Mr. Su. Many men also go out to find other women after their women are pregnant. For them, the fault is that the woman cannot satisfy them. Do you think it is really the woman who is wrong? Is it really the women who are wrong? Wu Nian said with a smile. Su Jiran's eyes dimmed. So, I am destined not to get the woman I love, right? What is love? I don't think Mr. Su understands it. I think you don't love Baiya. If you love her from the bottom of your heart, even if another woman stands in front of you naked, you will restrain yourself if you think that once you have a relationship with another woman, you will let Baiya down. But, obviously, Mr. Su doesn't, Wu Nian said indifferently. I just want to use this method to temporarily numb myself, forget her, and find other substitutes, but I can't forget her. You can't forget her, not because of love, but because of other factors. For example, you can't get her, you are hurt, and you are unwilling. What makes people remember for a lifetime is not love. Love is forgetful, and it is something that will become thinner and thinner as time goes on. The longer we spend with our so-called lover, the more we forget how to love each other. On the contrary, unwillingness and hurt will be remembered for a lifetime, because every day, you will wake up because of unwillingness, and you will repeat the process of unwillingness every day. Therefore, unwillingness is something that will be remembered deeply, Wu Nian explained. Then, how can I forget unwillingness? I live in pain every day, or, it is more appropriate to describe it with the words living is worse than dying, Su Jiran said sadly. Wu Nian smiled. Use other more meaningful things to transform it, such as the dream you had when you were young, or a greater career, or to feel the kindness of the people around you, or perhaps, find a suitable woman to fall in love with. It is difficult to let go, and when the day comes, you will be able to let go. If you do, you will be able to reap happiness. Why make things difficult for yourself? Then, can I chase you? I promise, those ridiculous things in the past will not happen again, and I will start from a good start, Su Jiran said, seemingly sincere. No. Wu Nian directly refused, because I have a boyfriend. I am sorry, you should find a girl who does not have a boyfriend. A wrong start is the source of pain. You said that Alan will not marry you, I promise, Su Jiran said with certainty. Whether you marry me or not, it has nothing to do with Mr. Su. Wu Nian took a sip of water. Su Jiran looked at her and did not leave. In the end, did Mo Shui cooperate with you, or with Gu Lingqing? I saw that he also went to Mo Shui's manor this morning. I think you should know who the boss behind me is, right? Although Gu Lingqing's family is prominent, luxury accessories are not his strong point. Mo Shui is not stupid, he should know who to cooperate with, Wu Nian said implicitly. Even if she did not say who Mo Shui cooperated with, Su Jiran would soon know, she did not need to hide it. You are such an excellent employee, I don't know what condition I have to recruit you, Su Jiran said with a smile. He put on what he thought was the best, most sincere, and most charming smile. Wu Nian admitted that Su Jiran had a good appearance. I helped Shiniyan because Lu Shuang is my friend. In fact, I am not his employee, I am a teacher. Chapter 395. Wu Nian recalled the time when he first met Su Jiran. He knew that she majored in medicine. She said that he knew all the directors of the hospitals in City A and could arrange jobs for her. Wu Nian laughed. You seem to have forgotten Shiniyan's status. It's easy for me to find a job, but I want to rely on myself. You don't have to worry about me. So, you're not going to give me any chance? Su Jiran said disappointedly. Giving you a chance will only make you pay. The more you pay, the more unwilling you will be. Knowing that it is impossible, it is better to nip it in the bud. Before the plane takes off, I want to go to the bathroom. Is there anything else, Mr. Su? Wu Nian asked politely. Can I see you again in the future? Su Jiran asked. Since it's impossible, there's no need to waste time. The next time we meet, if it's not necessary, we'll just treat each other as strangers. Wu Nian didn't give him any chance at all. Su Jiran's possessiveness was too terrifying. If he couldn't have it, he would destroy it. She had provoked him once, and she would never provoke him again. She walked to the washroom. Worried that Su Jiran was waiting outside, she purposely stayed in the washroom for more than 10 minutes. When she came out of the bathroom, the passengers on her flight were already lining up. Wu Nian lowered his head and walked to the back of the line. He took out his phone and played with my Hank the dog. The dog had slept for a long time. It needed to go to the toilet and eat, and its body was dirty. Wu Nian helped the dog to use the toilet, take a bath, and eat a meal. She had leveled up to 48. After playing monkey catcher for a while, they boarded the plane. Su Jiran did not come to disturb them. Wu Nian heaved a sigh of relief and boarded the plane. She laid down in her seat and closed her eyes to take a nap. Can I exchange seats with you? I'm in the first-class cabin up front. When Wu Nian heard Su Jiran's voice, he opened his eyes in surprise and looked at him. The others would definitely be more than happy to go to the first-class seats. Su Jiran sat down beside Wu Nian with a devilish smile. I have a client in London. I'm going there too. Wu Nian, Su Jiran's way of wooing women was really fierce. If she didn't know him so well, a normal girl would probably fall for such a handsome, rich, and extravagant man, just like her in the past. She did not expose him, nor did she reply. She closed her eyes and pretended to sleep. Su Jiran also lay down and looked at her. Wu Nian turned around so that his back was facing him. Beauty, bring me 2 blankets, Su Jiran said to the stewardess. The stewardess brought 2 new blankets with a smile. Su Jiran unwrapped them and covered Wu Nian. Wu Nian did not move. He continued to close his eyes and pretended to sleep. After a long time, he finally fell asleep. She was awakened by the broadcast. They were almost in London. Wu Nian looked at the time. It was 5:45 in the morning. When he opened the curtains, the sun was not out yet. At this time, you should be able to see the sunrise on the plane. The moment when the sun breaks through the clouds is very beautiful. Su Jiran said with a smile. Wu Nian replied. I'm going to the washroom. Su Jiran let her pass. Wu Nian went to the washroom to wash up. Because there were many people waiting in line, she did not stay long and returned to her seat. Alan is coming to pick you up? Su Jiran asked. Wu Nian took out her makeup from her bag, put on some honey lotion and lipstick. Su Jiran kept looking at her. How long have you been dating Alan? Wu Nian looked at him. Not long. Why? If only I knew you before Alan. Su Jiran said regretfully. Wu Nian smiled. Actually, even if you knew me before Alan, it would not change the situation. To be honest, Mr. Su is not my type. What type do you like? An English gentleman like Alan? Su Jiran asked curiously. Loyalty. Wu Nian said concisely. Su Jiran smiled bitterly. If I told you that I stayed chaste for my wife for 3 years and was even willing to become a eunuch for her, would you believe me? I would, but aren't you ready to pursue me now? Didn't you ask me to let it go? Su Jiran asked. Wu Nian smiled. Her smile was bright and beautiful, like a flower blooming. The sun had also broken through the clouds, and sunlight shone through the window onto her face. So, people stand from different perspectives, and the direction in which they consider the problem is also different. In the end, everyone feels that they are reasonable, and resent each other for not understanding. In fact, it can only prove one thing. These two people have different views on life and values, and they cannot live together. Then I'll change, right? What do you want me to do? Su Jiran was a little annoyed. The plane was already descending, and the radio was saying that the plane was about to arrive in Paris. The passengers were asked to stay in their seats and not move. Wu Nian looked at Su Jiran. There are a few key elements to a happy marriage. First, the two of you must share the same values. Second, you must share the same values. Third, you must be loyal. For example, if a girl passed by a beggar every day, she would give the beggar 10 yuan. Do you think this is the right thing to do or the wrong thing? That depends on the relationship between the beggar and the girl. It also depends on the girl's experience and strength. Or, did anything special happen in her life recently? You can't generalize whether it's right or wrong. Su Jiran said in a dialectical way. Wu Nian smiled. For me, whether the girl is right or wrong has nothing to do with me. I don't care. After all, it's someone else's business. There's no need to make irresponsible remarks. Su Jiran was speechless. Let's talk about values. In order to pursue a girl, you spend a lot of money. A first-class seat from country X to London costs about $3,500, right? Wu Nian asked. Su Jiran didn't say anything. It doesn't matter if you're not my husband. But if you're my husband and do this kind of thing, you won't be able to live a good life. That also depends on the person's financial strength. $3,500 is about the same as 1 cent to me. Su Jiran said unhappily. So, our values are not the same. I'm not a romantic person. What I want is to live a down-to-earth life. Well, Mr. Su, I think I've said enough. I wish you a pleasant journey. Wu Nian smiled. The plane arrived at the airport. She wanted to get out first. Su Jiran stopped her and didn't let her out. He looked at her deeply. Didn't I say it? I'll change your request. You can just take care of the money in the future. I don't like to take care of other people's money. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wu Nian said coldly. Su Jiran furrowed his brows and opened up a path. Wu Nian got off the plane and turned on her phone. Her phone was full of messages. Most of them were from Gu Lingqing. Wu Nian took a deep breath and called Gu Lingqing first. Chapter 396. Wu Nian's eyes widened. Remembering that Su Jiran was still behind them, she wanted to pull Gu Lingqing away before she could explain in detail. Gu Lingqing's face was cold and she flung her hand away. Wu Nian was stunned. She knew that Gu Lingqing was angry, so she walked forward with her head down. Gu Lingqing gritted his teeth, held her arm, turned around, and walked to the other side. There were 2 guards stationed at the exit on the other side. Gu Lingqing handed the ID to the guard, and the guard scanned it before letting them in. After they got out of the exit, Gu Lingqing did not say anything and continued to pull her forward. Wu Nian saw that there was almost no one here, so he roughly guessed that this was the private jet channel. He pulled her into the lounge, let go of her hand, and looked at her coldly. He said in a low voice, "Tell me, the reason why you came to London." Wu Nian looked at Gu Lingqing deeply. It was best for a person not to lie. Otherwise, they needed to use more lies to maintain the lie. If they lied too much, it was easy for them to not be able to turn back. And a lie was not the truth. If they were not careful, logical errors would occur. Alan and I had a beginning. Since it's going to end, I think it's better to say it face to face, Wu Nian said in a low voice. Gu Lingqing's fierce expression softened a little. Since it's a breakup, you can tell me. Do you know how worried I was about you? Breaking up with Alan is my business. I said yesterday that we should not contact each other anymore. We will contact each other when we arrive in Paris. Wu Nian explained. So it's my fault? Gu Lingqing asked in return, looking at her with burning eyes. Wu Nian took a step forward and hugged Gu Lingqing's waist. She leaned her face against his chest and felt his warm body temperature. She said softly, I'm very surprised that you came to London. I thought that you really like me, so I rushed over. But Gu Lingqing, I need some space. The feeling of restraint. Gu Lingqing lowered his head and looked at her. I'm not trying to restrict you. I just want to know what you're thinking. Wu Nian looked up at him. His eyes were red. She guessed that he hadn't slept the entire night, and he hadn't slept much last night either. Her heart ached for him. Didn't I break up with Alan? I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to worry, and I was even more afraid that you wouldn't allow it. That would put me in a difficult position. You came here to break up, how could I not allow it? You can't do this in the future. Although I have a bad temper, I'm not an unreasonable person. You. Gu Lingqing paused, you'll find out in the future. And then I will try my best to find out. One more thing, Su Jiran has also come to London. Don't let him see you. A hint of suspicion flashed across Gu Lingqing's eyes. He's also in London. If I remember correctly, he should be returning to China. We met on the same plane. Gu Lingqing understood. He's courting you. I won't like him, and I've made it very clear to him. It's just that I don't want him to know about our relationship. Wu Nian looked down. Are you afraid that he'll cause trouble, or are you afraid that he'll hurt me? Gu Lingqing asked tentatively. Gu Lingqing, I have my reasons that I don't want others to know, but I don't want to tell you now. Maybe I'll be willing to tell you everything one day, but not now. So, don't test me, okay? Wu Nian pleaded gently. Gu Lingqing thought for 15 seconds and nodded. Okay, how long do you need to stay in London? I should be going to France tomorrow. If I meet Su Jiran at the airport tomorrow, he'll probably go to France with you again. I'll stay here and take my private jet tomorrow. It's safe, and I don't have to worry about anything, Gu Lingqing said domineeringly. Wu Nian thought for a moment. Okay, then I won't contact you today. I'll contact you tomorrow. Gu Lingqing frowned. Do you need that long to break up? You didn't sleep well last night, so rest well today, Wu Nian explained. Do you think I can rest well if I don't hear from you? Gu Lingqing asked in return. Then I'll call you at noon, Wu Nian corrected herself. Gu Lingqing's expression softened a little. Okay. Then I'll go out first, Wu Nian said softly. Although Gu Lingqing was reluctant, she still let her go. Wu Nian walked out of the lounge. The people on her plane had all left, and the corridor was much emptier than before. Almost everyone was gathered at the luggage check-in area. The luggage was not out yet. She walked over and saw Su Jiran standing at the furthest place from him, looking at the luggage exit. She thought for a moment and called Alan. Alan picked up the call. I heard the announcement. You've arrived. Are you getting your luggage? Alan asked with a smile. Yes. I'm still waiting. I'll come over now, Alan said and hung up the phone. Wu Nian looked behind her but did not see Alan. After a while, the luggage came out of the conveyor belt. Wu Nian saw her luggage and was about to walk over. She felt someone hugging her waist. Xiao Nian. Alan called her, lowered his head and kissed her on the cheek. Wu Nian's heart skipped a beat and she looked at Alan. Alan smiled brightly. I missed you so much. Wu Nian was silent for a moment. My luggage is out. I'll help you. Which one? Alan asked and held Wu Nian's hand. Because Su Jiran was there, Wu Nian did not shake him off. She pointed at the sky blue leather suitcase. Alan let go of Wu Nian's hand and went forward to take the suitcase down. My car is outside. Follow me. Wu Nian followed behind Alan. She did not look back at Su Jiran. She took a deep breath and looked at Alan's side profile. Her eyes were dark. Alan took her out of the airport. He drove a Lamborghini. I've booked a hotel for you. Go back to the hotel and rest first. Let's have lunch together. My grandmother wants to see you, Alan said with a smile. Wu Nian did not have the heart to break up now. However, although some words were cruel, they had to be said. Alan, I have something to tell you, Wu Nian said. Huh? Alan looked at Wu Nian's face and smiled. Get in the car first. He opened the car door in a gentlemanly manner. Wu Nian sat in the car while Alan drove. Wu Nian did not say anything. It was not a good time to talk while driving. He stopped in front of the Histon Hotel. He unbuckled his seatbelt and was about to open the car door when Wu Nian held his arm. Alan glanced at Wu Nian's hand and looked up in the direction of her arm. Alan, can I trust you? Wu Nian asked. Of course, Alan said without thinking. He turned around and faced Wu Nian, waiting for her to speak. Chapter 397. So, you came here today to destroy my last chance? Alan's face darkened. There's one more thing. I need your help with Lu Shuang. What are your conditions? Tell me, Wu Nian raised her chin and said. What if I ask you to stay by my side for a year? Alan asked. Wu Nian was silent for a while. Alan chuckled. Forcing my goddess to do something she doesn't want to do is not something I want to see. Don't worry, I will help you. I don't need any conditions. I just hope that we can still be friends when we meet again. I still remember that you said that you would cook for me. Wu Nian looked at him gratefully. Alan ruffled her hair. Actually, I've thought about it a lot these few days. I know that when you said you wanted to date me, it wasn't because you liked me. You had too many considerations and scruples. Perhaps you were using me, but you did attract me. I want to get rid of some people, so it's better to find a boyfriend. That's why I chose you, Wu Nian explained. You are so beautiful, strong, brave, kind, loyal, smart, and beautiful. But I only have a gorgeous appearance and a flashy background. My health is not good, Alan said sadly. I've slit my wrists, been poisoned, jumped into the sea, had plastic surgery, married twice, changed my name and started a new life. I'm not as perfect as you think I am. Even if it was my own father, I never thought of forgiving him. Alan, I thank you for what you did for Lu Shuang. If one day you are in trouble, I will do my best, Wu Nian promised. You've already treated me as a friend by telling me this. I won't betray your trust. All these secrets of yours will never leak out from me. If you're in trouble, I'll do my best. Alan promised with a smile. Wu Nian leaned forward and hugged Alan. Thank you, and I'm sorry. I've said it before. You don't have to apologize to me. I'm willing to do it, Alan said in a low voice. Wu Nian let go of Alan. Thousands of words were left unsaid. She thanked him for his help, for his dedication, and for not asking for anything in return. Then I'll get off, Wu Nian said. Let me know one day in advance when your friend is coming to England, Alan said with a sad look in his eyes. Yes. Alan smirked. You're in room 1809. I've already booked you. Although we can't be lovers, we can still be friends. Let me be your host, okay? All right. I'll go upstairs to put my luggage down. Wu Nian pushed the door open and came down. Alan also got out of the car and helped her with her luggage. When are you leaving? Tomorrow. Just one day. Alan was a little disappointed. There are many famous attractions in London. You might not be able to see them all in one day. Where do you want to go the most? Is there anything you want to recommend? If you're not tired, put your luggage down. I'll take you somewhere. Alan smiled. Wu Nian nodded. Okay. Alan drove for 2.5 hours and arrived at a church. This church is modeled after St. Paul's Cathedral. Behind the church is a miniature version of Buckingham Palace. You can eat, race, and play golf here, Alan said. Wu Nian got out of the car and looked around. It's a very unique English church, but there aren't many visitors. This is my grandmother's place. It's not open to the public. Huh? Your grandmother? Wu Nian had a strange feeling. With her current relationship with Alan, it wasn't appropriate for her to meet Alan's elders. Alan could tell that Wu Nian was worried. Don't worry. My grandmother really wants to see you, but she respects me very much. I'll tell her about our relationship. Also, my grandmother has a very good friend who's from country A. She'll be very happy to see you from country A, but I didn't bring a gift. Wu Nian wasn't used to meeting elders empty-handed. You're the best gift. You just need to chat with my grandmother, Alan said. If she went, it would be unreasonable for her to leave. Alan brought her past the church to the miniature version of Buckingham Palace. As they walked into the magnificent hall, she saw an old grandmother making tea. Grandmother, this is Wu Nian. She's my friend from country A, Alan introduced with a smile. You're from country A? Alan's grandmother smiled and looked at Wu Nian. She said lovingly, good, very good. Xiao Tang is also from country A. Hello, grandmother, Wu Nian greeted respectfully. Come here. Alan waved at Wu Nian and ordered the servant. Bring me the photo. Wu Nian looked at Alan awkwardly and walked to her grandmother. Her grandmother looked at Wu Nian with a smile. Alan mentioned you to me. He wants to break off the engagement and marry you. I think you're a good person. I've decided to break off the engagement. Well. Wu Nian looked at Alan again. Grandmother, Xiao Nian and I are just friends. However, we still have to break off the engagement, Alan explained. What? Didn't you say that you like her and want to marry her last time? Don't bully me because I'm old. I still remember, her grandmother said anxiously. I thought too much last time. Xiao Nian and I promised to be friends. All right, grandmother, Xiao Nian is a guest. Alan changed the topic. Her grandmother understood. She sighed and smiled at Wu Nian with pity. The servant brought the photo album. Her grandmother opened it with nostalgia and pointed at a photo of a woman wearing a cheongsam. This is Xiao Tang. Wu Nian was shocked. Your woman looks exactly like her mother. Xiao Tang was a pitiful person. She came to America with her husband and left her parents to take care of her. Her parents were on their way to find her when there was an earthquake. They all died, her grandmother explained. They all died? Wu Nian was a little dazed. Does she have any relatives alive? Her grandmother shook her head. She didn't know how to give birth. Her husband married another wife and gave her husband a son and a daughter. However, it has nothing to do with Xiao Tang. Xiao Tang was depressed and passed away when she was in her 40s. She was my best friend. Wu Nian looked down. Her mother was an orphan. She looked too much like the woman in the photo. She might have survived. However, Xiao Tang was dead, and her mother had gone crazy. It seemed like there was no need to keep in touch. Xing Bachuan had abandoned Bai Bing because she was an orphan and didn't have a prominent family background. If Bai Bing hadn't been separated from her parents, she would have been a socialite. She wouldn't have been abandoned and wouldn't have gone crazy. Unfortunately, there were no ifs in the world. Chapter 398. During the day, Gu Lingqing didn't call her. After returning to the hotel arranged by Alan in the evening, she called Gu Lingqing. Hello. Wu Nian spoke first. Gu Lingqing responded with a deep voice. My problem is solved. Wu Nian said. Gu Lingqing only responded with a sound, indifferently. Then, good night. See you in Paris tomorrow. Gu Lingqing hung up the phone on the other end. Wu Nian had a strange feeling in her heart. It was as heavy as a stone pressing on her heart. She wanted to call Gu Lingqing again, but she didn't know what to say. She wasn't someone who was good at talking. She put her phone on the bedside table and went to the bathroom to take a shower. She thought of an article that she had read before and felt that it was very useful. The general content of the article was, a man worked for 3 years and wanted to go home. His boss gave him 3 pieces of advice. The first was, don't try to find impossible shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in this world. The second was, don't be overly curious about things that you know are not good. You may lose everything because of it. The third was, don't make any decisions when you are impulsive. It may make you regret it for the rest of your life. When the man went home, he didn't take a shortcut. Instead, he chose the main road with many people. He stayed in a hotel. When he heard a woman crying and screaming, he didn't come out. The person who came out was killed by the crazy woman. When he got home, he heard other men's voices. He didn't kill his wife impulsively. He found out that the man was a child. Wu Nian turned off the shower. So, she shouldn't call Gu Lingqing. Even if he seemed unhappy now, the most he could do was break up according to her original plan. She should calm down and live every day in a down-to-earth manner. That way, everyone would be safe. She took a shower and turned off her phone. She lay on the bed and didn't think about anything. Sleep. She didn't know how long it had been before the doorbell woke her up. Wu Nian turned on the bedside lamp. She stepped on the disposable hotel slippers and got out of bed. She looked through the peephole. It was Gu Lingqing. She opened the door in surprise. Why are you here? When Gu Lingqing entered, she smelled a strong smell of alcohol. Just as she closed the door, he pushed her against the wall and kissed her forcefully. Wu Nian pushed him. He held her waist so tightly that she couldn't breathe. He was too strong and domineering. She couldn't even resist. Half an hour later, she finally calmed down. Gu Lingqing carried her to the bathroom, brushed her teeth, washed her face, and didn't say a word. He didn't say a word. He was drunk today, so he probably wouldn't listen even if she tried to reason with him. But that wasn't good. After washing up, he took a towel to wipe her face. Nian. Gu 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 wu. And woo woo woo, a sharp light flashed in Gu Lingqing's eyes as he turned around and left. Didn't Gu. Gu didn't want to, Gu. She. Ling Gu, she didn't want to talk to him. She lay in the bathtub. He was still there. Just as she was about to fall asleep in a daze, she felt the bed beside her sink in. A hand held her waist. Wu Nian turned around and met his deep eyes. There was a sour feeling in her heart. Don't you think you're too overbearing? Don't you think you're too domineering? Wu Nian looked at him. Wu Nian turned around and faced him. What are you thinking? I feel like you're unhappy every day. I'm not a parasite in your stomach. Go to sleep. It's late. Gu Lingqing turned off the lights. The room was dark. Go to sleep, it's getting late. Gu Lingqing directly turned off the light, and the room fell into darkness. Go to sleep. It's late. Gu Lingqing turned off the lights. The room was dark. Wu Nian looked at him again. What's wrong? Wu Nian looked at him again. What's the matter? I'm thinking, how much longer are you going to hide it from me? Or, have you already guessed that I know who you are? Gu Lingqing said. I'm wondering if you're still her. Or, you're not her anymore. Gu Lingqing stood up. I'm wondering if you're still her. Or, you're not her anymore. Gu Lingqing stood up from the bed. His face was serious. Wu Nian's face turned pale. She understood what he meant. You think I'm Baiya? Even though you knew I was waiting for you, you pretended you weren't. Even though you knew I didn't like you and Alan together, you stayed until dark. Even if I wanted to have sex with you, you resisted. From the beginning to the end, I was the one who forced you. I kept you in my mind, but you wanted me to let you go. 3 years, 3 years, 2 years. It's been 8 years. Our child is already 7 years old. I thought that if I continued, would make you suffer. I can't see the future and happiness. So, Baiya, I should give up on you. Wu Nian looked at Gu Lingqing. Also, don't look for little Yen anymore. Right now, little Yen only thinks that his mother is dead. If one day, he finds out that his mother is still alive and by his side, but she doesn't recognize him and isn't with his father, he will hate you. Moreover, I will get married again. Your existence will make it difficult for Xiao Yan to get along with his new mother. Don't worry, Xiao Yan is my child. I will take good care of him and train him. Although I'm strict sometimes, I believe my future wife will treat him like her own child. I will look for a partner who can take care of my child. Gu Lingqing said coldly. Wu Nian didn't say anything. She lowered her eyes and tears fell quietly. Gu Lingqing sneered. Even though he said so, she didn't express her desire to be with him. There's no need to say goodbye. Gu Lingqing turned around, opened the door and went out. He closed the door for her. This was the result she wanted. She wanted to push the man she loved out of her world and live alone from then on. But what was the point of her living? Perhaps, she shouldn't have lived at all. Wu Nian didn't fall asleep again. She sat on the bed in a daze. Her eyes were red from crying and she made a decision. In the morning, she bought a plane ticket back to Aland. When she went to the sanatorium to see Bai Bing, she received news that Bai Bing had committed suicide. Wu Nian was shocked. He ran to ask the doctor, why did Bai Bing commit suicide? She was fine before. I don't know. Sorry, she suddenly hit her head against the wall. We went in immediately, but she was already dead. Are you her family? The doctor asked. Where is she buried now? Wu Nian asked. Because she doesn't have a family, we will deal with it as if she had no family. Please follow me, the doctor said and brought Wu Nian to the cemetery behind the sanatorium. Bai Bing had been buried. The grave was new. The name carved on the tombstone was Bai Bing's grave. Daughter Baiya. Baiya knelt in front of the grave. Chapter 399. After paying respects to her mother, Baiya called Lu Shuang. Xiao Nian, I have good news for you. Shen Yan has signed the contract with Mo Shui. He promised me that I can travel for a month with Xiao Bao. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, my good days are coming, Lu Shuang said happily as soon as he answered the phone. Yes, I am happy for you too. Live for yourself. Live a wonderful and open life. Although it will be ordinary, you will be far away from danger. You will be happy because that is what you want, Wu Nian said with a smile. Yes, I have to leave Shen Yan first. He has a wife, and he is the president. Once I am exposed, I will be a sinner. Maybe I will be written into history as a temptress who brings disaster to the country and people. Then I will be unlucky and will be infamous for thousands of years. Ha 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 ha. Yes, when are you going to leave? Wu Nian asked in a deep voice. I still have one thing to deal with. I am not worried about you now. You have Alan, and Alan will protect you. I am worried about my parents. I have to let them retire first, and then I will find a friend who can help them change their identity. Will my parents agree? Lu Shuang was worried. Then be honest with them. Then be honest with them and tell them about your situation. You're their only son. Although you're no longer related to them, your parents don't have children yet. They still treat you as their only daughter, Wang Yao said. I had a bad relationship with them. Xiao Nian, can you help me to find out what they want to say? Lu Shuang asked. Yes, I will ask them out tonight. Tonight? Lu Shuang scratched his head. Should we meet first to discuss what to say? No, I know what you think. I will talk to your parents and contact them at night. Wu Nian hung up the phone. She had a phone call from Lu Shuang's father. Who is it? The old voice of Lu Shuang's father sounded. Wu Nian felt a little sad. This old dean, under the attack of time, was also on the verge of death. Hello, I'm Lu Shuang's friend. I have something to discuss with you. Are you free tonight? Wu Nian said politely. I don't have such a daughter. Lu Shuang's father hung up the phone. Wu Nian sighed and continued to call Lu Shuang's mother. Hey. Hello, I'm Lu Shuang's friend. I have something to discuss with you. Do you have time tonight? It's very important, Wu Nian said softly. Shuang's friend? Mrs. Lu hesitated. Back then, she left you because she had her own difficulties. She was forced to give birth to that child because she wanted to protect it. Little Shuang, is she doing well now? How can a mother and daughter hate each other overnight? Even if she gave birth before marriage, we will only contact her. How can we not forgive her? Why do we have to break off our relationship? Mrs. Lu's voice was choked with sobs. That's because she wants to protect you. Can we meet tonight? It's better to be more secretive, Wu Nian suggested. Little Shuang's father is more stubborn. I have to slowly persuade him. Come to Iran Spa and enter a private room. My friend opened that room. I can get the key to the small door and come in directly. Okay, I'll go to Iran now. See you later. Wu Nian hung up the phone and went directly to Iran Spa. The streets of City A changed every year, and now they were beyond recognition. When she was a child, her wish was to make a house. She wanted to stay in the place she wanted to stay forever. Nowadays, houses were often demolished, and they were as fragile as human lives. While her thoughts were running wild, she arrived at Iran Spa and followed the receptionist into private room 203. I want a rose aromatic bath, but not now. I'll wait for someone first. Is that okay? Yes, then you can rest first. When you need it, just press the server on the table, the receptionist said with a smile and handed her a cup of lemon tea. Thank you. Can I trouble you to leave for a while? It won't take too long. Oh, okay. The receptionist gave Wu Nian a strange look and went out of the room. Wu Nian texted Lu Shuang's mother, I'm in private room 203. She had just sat down on the sofa when Lu Shuang's mother came in from the small door and locked the door. She asked anxiously, what's wrong with little Shuang? She hasn't come home, and she doesn't even call. She doesn't come home on New Year's Day, and her father is so angry that he's sick. I'm sorry, Lu Shuang has her own difficulties. She provoked someone she shouldn't have provoked and was forced to have sex with him. The other party also didn't allow her to abort the child. Otherwise, the people she cares about will be in danger, especially you. She was worried that she would drag you down, so she broke off the relationship with you and hoped that you wouldn't be involved. Now, Lu Shuang has a chance to leave that man, but she wants to leave this country and live an incognito life. She's worried that after she leaves, that man will deal with you, Wu Nian explained. Lu Shuang's mother frowned and asked several questions in a row. Who did little Shuang offend? She's too straightforward, but she's not a bad person. I've always told her to be careful with her words and actions. What should she do now? Where is she going? Will she never come back? Then what about me and her father? Now. Her father misses her so much that he's sick. I can't tell you who she offended for now, but that man is powerful. One word from him, and the whole country will tremble. His power is beyond your imagination. Is it? Shen Yan? The current president? Lu Shuang's mother asked suspiciously. Wu Nian paused. She didn't expect Lu Shuang's mother to be right. Lu Shuang's mother could tell from Wu Nian's eyes that she was right. I knew it. He always provoked little Shuang when he was young. I also said that this person actually became the president. I didn't expect that he would treat little Shuang like this. He's already married. Little Shuang hates mistresses the most and hates being tied down the most. She must be very sad now. Mother Lu said. Lu Shuang's mother's eyes were red, and she wiped her tears. Fortunately, she has a chance to escape now. She also found a way to help you change your name and live a new life. Although you can't contact your old friends, you're not in danger. I don't know if you're willing. Can't we go with her? Where does she go? Where do we go? We can find new friends, we can find new jobs, and we only have one daughter. We can still take care of her. Lu Shuang's mother said sadly. That's the best. I can arrange it. I don't know what Director Lu thinks. Old Lu actually cares about little Shuang more than I do. He just doesn't understand. Now that he knows all this, he's definitely willing. Lu Shuang's mother said with certainty. If you're willing, give me a call. I'll arrange it. Lu Shuang's mother looked at Wu Nian. Thank you. It's my duty. Wu Nian smiled. Chapter 400. Wu Nian didn't want Lu Shuang to worry too much, so he made a call. What did my parents say? Lu Shuang asked anxiously. Your mother not only agreed to retire, but she also wants to go with you and take care of you. Really? Lu Shuang was excited. Yes, she also wants to persuade your father. Don't worry, your father loves you more than your mother does. He knows you have difficulties, so he will definitely go with you. Also, since your parents have been contacted, for safety's sake, don't meet them. Shen Yan is a cautious person. It's better for us to be careful as well. Yes, it's great that my parents are willing to go with me. I have enough money for us to live for the rest of our lives. Except for not being able to see you, I don't have any regrets. Lu Shuang said with tears in his eyes. All good things must come to an end. It's my luck to be friends with you. You must be happy. Wu Nian smiled. I promise you, I will be happy. Lu Shuang promised. Wu Nian was soaking in the rose-scented bath, quietly closing her eyes and enjoying the comfortable massage. Guest. Wu Nian was woken up by the beautician and opened her eyes. You've been soaking for 2 hours. It's not good to stay in the bath for too long, the beautician said gently. Sorry, I fell asleep. Wu Nian stood up. The beautician wrapped a towel around Wu Nian. Maybe because of the long soaking, she was short of oxygen and her legs were weak. She lost her balance and fell into the bathtub again. Wu Nian held her forehead and said apologetically, I'm sorry, I can't seem to do anything well. How much do you need? That's not necessary. If you like, you can apply for a card. If you apply for a card, you can charge 1,000 yuan and get 200 yuan free. You can use the spa, massage, and accommodation. The beautician introduced enthusiastically. Do you have accommodation here? Yes, on the 3rd floor. Standard room with a king-sized bed. They are all 580 yuan. If you want a spa, you can get a 30% discount. We provide door-to-door service. How much will I get if I top up 10,000 yuan? If you charge 1,000, you'll get 200. If you charge 2,000, you'll get 500. If you charge 5,000, you'll get 2,000. If you charge 10,000, you can get 5,000. Do you want to do it now? Okay, help me get one now. Okay. The beautician beamed with joy and took good care of him. After Wu Nian topped up, he directly checked into the guest room. The room looked good. It was a dreamy pink color. The bed and sofa looked relatively new. There was a treadmill in the room. She quite liked it. Lying on the bed, he connected to the Wi-Fi and checked the price of the yacht. The price of the 11-meter-long cruise ship was less than 400,000 yuan. Looking at the photo, it was not bad. The cabin was converted into a room with a bed, a TV, a shower, and a bathroom. The stern was converted into a kitchen. Under the pavilion was a dining table. At the bow of the ship, 2 reclining chairs could be placed. The cockpit was above the cabin. The experiment was wide open. However, driving a boat required a driver's license. She then checked where she should go to get her driver's license. The people who sold the cruise would arrange the test. She checked her account again. She had 7.22 million yuan in savings. It seemed that she could not spend the money. She could buy a big one. She casually browsed through it until it was 3:00 in the morning. She turned off the web page and put her phone on the bedside table. Lying on the bed, she still could not fall asleep. This situation was very bad. She seemed to have started to lose sleep again. She got up again and ran on the treadmill for an hour. She was tired and fell asleep. The room was very good. She slept until she woke up naturally. She took out her phone to check the time. She forgot to charge her phone yesterday. The phone turned off automatically when it ran out of battery. She immediately charged her phone. When she went to the bathroom to wash up, she heard a text message notification. Would there be a call from Gu Lingqin? Wu Nian shook her head. Why would Gu Lingqin call her? She was thinking too much. Thinking about it, she found it funny. She had already completely pushed Gu Lingqin out of her world, but she was still looking forward to it. When a person's heart and mind were not in the same position, contradictions and troubles would arise. She should have been more clear-headed, so that she would not cause an irreversible situation. After washing up, she came out of the bathroom and picked up her phone. They were all calls from Lu Shuang and Lu Shuang's mother. She was very sorry that her phone turned off automatically. She did not act as a bridge of communication in time. She called Lu Shuang's mother first. Did something happen to Shuang? Lu Shuang's mother asked anxiously. Sorry, I overslept. Nothing happened to Shuang. Don't worry, Wu Nian said softly. It's good that nothing happened. His father has agreed to go with Shuang. What do you think we should do? We will listen to you. But before we go, can you arrange for us to meet Shuang? Lu Shuang's mother breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, I will call Shuang first. I will get back to you in 10 minutes, Wu Nian said. After hanging up, she called Lu Shuang back. Xiao Nian, where are you? What did my parents say? Lu Shuang was also anxious. He had inherited this temper from his mother. I'm in room 506 of the guest room above the Yiren Spa. I'll be staying here for a while. Your parents have agreed to go with you, but they want to see you. You come to me now, and we'll go to the spa together. There's a little door, and your mom and dad can go. Come here. Okay, I'm coming now. Lu Shuang hung up the phone in a hurry. Wu Nian was coordinating from the inside, allowing Lu Shuang to meet her parents. They were chatting while she stood guard outside. She estimated that she and Lu Shuang would part ways in less than a month. More or less, she felt sad about parting. She didn't want to show it and affect other people's feelings, but she really felt sad. An hour later, Lu Shuang came out of the private room. His eyes were still red. He held Wu Nian's hand and said, Xiao Bai, thank you. You don't have to thank me. That's because of your own feelings. Let's go. Let's have dinner together tonight and then go to the bar. Consider it a farewell before parting. Let's get drunk, Wu Nian said with a smile. Let's go. Let's get drunk. Lu Shuang put his arm around Wu Nian's shoulder. He had solved one of his worries and was happy. They went to the famous Lanting Hotel in City A. The salmon with flowers here is very delicious. The squirrel climbing trees is also delicious. There are also corn pancakes, immortal roast duck, and crab tofu. I ate these last time when Shaniyan brought me here. Lu Shuang ordered the dishes and added freshly squeezed cereal juice. When are you going to travel? Wu Nian asked. My parents' matter has been resolved. I'm going out next Monday. They will sign up for a British tour. I'll tell you the details after I'm done. They can't sign up for a British tour. First, if Shaniyan knows that you're going to Britain, he will definitely guess something. He can easily cancel the tour, and your parents won't be able to go out. Wu Nian reminded, you're tuning into the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.